And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another weekend edition here of the KFC, the KungFu Cup, week number 14. Your weekly dose of KFC action. I'm, of course, host VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players and by the ByuN chat as well. Welcome, one and all, to our Thursday broadcast. So our Thursday broadcast here of the KFC, bearing in mind, of course, we were live yesterday with the podcast, which is why we could not cover KFC at the time live. Instead, here it's going to be a replay cast from KungFu Cup. We're here to catch up on some SC2 action. Let's go. Let us go. We're going to be jumping in. Bearing in mind, this is a weekly tournament that is, of course, organized by SC Boy. SC Boy, they are the Chinese team, Chinese organizers. They do a lot of casting. They do a lot of event organizing as well. They're working behind the scenes on ByuN Cup, on Stars War 11, and on WTL and KFC. They do a lot. They do a lot for the scene, a lot for the community. So big shout out to SC Boy as we are jumping into our first series. We're going to be jumping into the quarterfinals of the KFC. Let's go. We have a PvT ready for you. It's going to be a best of 3 between herO and ByuN. Let's go. Let us go. As we are jumping into our Pros vs Terran matchup, we're going to be loading into Blackrock for game 1. Loading into Blackrock. I'm a little bit worn out, so bearing in mind that I was just live a couple of minutes ago, laddering on my personal channel. The smudge, might be the smudge. Oh, it was an okay ladder session. It was okay. It's okay. Shaking off all the rust, getting back into the swing of things. It'll take us some time. It'll take us like a week or so to kind of get back into form and back into shape. But you know what? We'll do our best. We'll do our best. This morning, in the right-hand corner of Blackrock, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red. We're the red Terran. We have the red Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran representing on side. It is ByuN. Vamonos as we're entering our PvT. Now, when it comes to PvT, when it comes to the current meta of things, again, we have been emphasizing that early game aggression has been very prevalent in Protoss vs Terran from the Protoss side of things. Going for proxy gateways, proxy pylons, early gate aggression as well has been very trendy, and herO has been very prevalent when it comes to that style, so we're assuming that that will come out of herO. On the side of ByuN, I'll be honest, I don't think I've actually casted ByuN this patch. Typically ByuN is casting, and we don't often follow his matches or follow his games, so I'm happy to see ByuN competing here tonight. And ByuN, he's often a very aggressive player in TVP, a lot of 2-base all-ins. 2-base play is kind of what we expect out of ByuN, and we'll see that trend continues here as well in the quarterfinals. We'll see. Ready for the juicy Colonel Ash. Oh, wait, not that KFC. Unfortunately not. No. We need to get that sponsorship. We got to get that branding. True. Aye. One day. As for now, we are going to be settling in. Claiming our own expansions, building on up here on 2 bases, and so far, economic opener out of ByuN, going for a single gas racks expand out of our Terran player. Marine first into the early reactor. Okay, interesting. So again, we are going to be cutting some corners. So basically, ByuN, no SCV Scout, no Reaper Scout either. This is quite common amongst the top Terran players, is to skip any early worker scouts just because you want to be as efficient as possible. You scout early on here for proxies, that is true, but you're focusing on your economy as much as you can early on. This was common pre-patch. It was very common pre-patch to skip your worker scout. I feel like now post-patch, it is even more common to skip your initial worker scouts, as we now have seen the European Terran players kind of adopt this as well. The rationale for that, for post-patch or current iteration of StarCraft, is due to just because you have a low worker count to begin with, sending an SCV across the map to scout and to get an eye on what's going on, it is more costly. It's just not as worth it. It's not as worth it just because every worker early on matters even more because of the low worker count. Now then, I'm settling in. Oh, as ByuN, okay, going for a 3cc 3 racks. Hyper greed here, hyper greed, hyper aggression. We are going to be building up here again 3cc into a second, into a third racks as well. So ByuN is going to double down. He's going to be greedy here. We'll see if herO can determine what's going on and punish what's going on. We'll see. We shall see. As now we do have our Twilight Council back at home, going Twilight Council into Blink. So we do have our tech hero, our tech of choice from herO. Meanwhile, ByuN, he's going to be scouting here towards left-hand side, looking for any shenanigans here, looking for a proxy pylon, proxy stargate. Very, very vigilant here when it comes to his scouting, at least nearby at these proxy locations, as he's building up into his stim timing. Now, I should also emphasize or get into the build itself. When it comes to the build itself, this does have a really big power spike in the mid-game, building up to a 3-base economy very, very quickly. The downside, of course, is you have no early-game tank production, so you're going to be more vulnerable as you're stuck with vanilla Marines early on. Here, if he scouts this, he can try to punish this, or he can try to outgreed ByuN. Otherwise, ByuN will have a very strong mid-game. Hallucination comes in, does confirm everything. Here, he sees the build, he's fully aware what's going on, and we'll see how herO does react. For now, expanding. Going to be expanding back at home, is going for his own 2-gate blink opener, so 2-gate blink out of herO, rushing to the third base, cutting corners, going for the third before the robo, but especially because of what he's seen, he knows he does not need a robo early on. Here we go. We go. So again, we are building up. So as they poke in, they nibble away here at the Marines. And so far so good, catching out one. Oh, the Stalker takes a lot of hits though. Yeah, a bit of miscontrol there by herO. Does take a lot of hits to the face. We'll pick off one, we'll pick off 2 Marines. Nice sub-stepping once again here by ByuN, but he will not catch a Stalker. Oh, he gets close though. Yeah, trying to poke in, but last the Stalkers. So far, they have their way with the Marines. Nice control out of herO, pulls back that weakened Stalker. Yeah, he pulls back the weakened Stalker, and with that, that is how many Marines? 6. 6 Marines going down. No losses here on the Stalkers, so very nice trade out of herO. He does pull away, he does pull back home. This was a nice trade, and this will slow down the stim timing, but it wasn't really about the stim timing. Remember, it's about the third CC. It's about faster triple SV and triple mules out of ByuN, so that boosted economy is going to be here. Let's go. Let us go. Oh, herO being a little bit cheeky, does go for the proxy pylon here at the third location. Remember that in the current iteration of StarCraft, you do not need gateways to warp in quickly across the map. We warp in a sentry? Okay. Let's go. A very aggressive move out here by herO, going into mass sentry. He's ready to force field, and remember that there are no medevacs. There are no medevacs whatsoever, so these force fields are going to be brutal if they even come into play at all here. We do see that ByuN is trying to get across the map, so as they poke in, here comes the mass sentry. Let's go. 6 entries, pappy. Ay, ay, ay. And there's going to be a recall. There should be a recall soon available here for herO. Bear that in mind, as things are about to get rowdy. Yeah, the game's about to get rowdy. Here we go. It's time for herO to move in. herO does break forward. He wants to try to bait out the army. And ByuN, he sims in. He sims into the mineral line, takes down the battery, pushing into the natural. At the same time, herO moves in and does force field. Yeah, he locks down that initial bunker. No repairs. A bunker will go down. We have more force fields available. Ooh. And once again does force field, and we see a lot of army here unable to engage. You can see all these Marines bugging out. They just cannot get close enough. They cannot get close. We have more force fields at the same time, though. A full mineral went down. ByuN is going in. He wants more. Wait, he's running out of army. Yeah, ByuN is running out, so we're getting rowdy here, as that's going to be 21 probes going down. Very nice damage here by ByuN. Gets 23 probe kills. ByuN will lose 18 SCVs, but remember, triple SCV. He has triple SCV production. He has a third third CC. He has extra mules. ByuN, he can try to recover. And herO, so far, has this been enough damage? It's been very messy. It's been very messy, very chaotic. And a lot of workers have gone down for both players. Tech-wise, where exactly are we? Do we have any splash damage? The answer is no. We have Blink and we have Charge on the way. Again, it was a very quirky build from herO, but he just had nothing to defend back at home. There was no recall. We got the speed lots though. There, we locked down the army, but this time there are medevacs. Yeah, medevacs, they have arrived. They live, they save the army. herO catching a couple of SCVs, but now he's out of force fields, he's out of energy. Oh. Here he is out of energy. At the same time, third base now going to be landed. More Zealots rallying in. No bunker. True. Yeah, no safety bunker. Diving on top of the army. Trading well here against the Marines. Boys being pulled. ByuN getting desperate. And this might be too much. Yeah, this might be too many losses for ByuN. Losing too many SCVs. ByuN, he will technically survive, but that's another 15 SCV kills. Ay, ay, ay. Earlier, it was okay because he was able to do some counter damage, but not this time. Not this time. Down to 33 SCVs. Again, barely an economy. And herO, due to that proxy pylon, he just keeps warping in. He just keeps warping in. Going for another wave of zealots. Speaking of... Oh. Here he does pull back. Ready for this round. There it is. Yeah, there's a massive warp in, collapsing of the army. Warping does complete. He wants his marines. He wants the army. And the medevacs are running out. Yeah, the medevacs are running out of energy. Just so much stimming. Really, he's holding on. Okay. Like he holds the line, Babby. Behind this Bay. Bay is on the way. We're going for Colossus, not Storm. Colossi are going to be in production. Young massing up more Widow Mines. Again, shout out to that third CC as he is slowly recovering economically. I mean, I say slowly because he's slowly catching up. Getting there. Yeah, the main army for Young is so comparable to that of herO. Comparable. Young, he finally shuts down the proxy pylon. Zealot army on the left hand side. Young pushing through the center, and Zealots they will threaten, but they don't get any damage done. We can see herO sharking around. So far, Ryung is keeping up. And he's keeping up from both sides. Likewise, Colossus production has begun. herO dropping into the main. Oh, that was close. That was close. But Ryung, he will barely miss the drop. Just barely. Zealots moving through the center. Ryung did spot this. Prism into the main base. Zealots drop in. But there are reinforcements. Yeah, thankfully, there are reinforcements. Ooh, very nice pickup out of herO. Saves the Zealots, pulls away. Ryung moving in. So again, we're getting a little bit messy here. herO dropping into the mineral line. Guys drop in. Oh, once again, the lifts back. Oh my god. herO, calm down. He lifts well. Dropping back into the main base at the same time. Ryung commits across the map. He commits. Catching up the pylon. Takes down the pylon, steaming on forward. Ooh, nice mine connection on the Zealots. Trades well, going for the Colossus, and he gets one. He barely does. Massive pickup, takes down the Colossus, but he will get surrounded. Has to pull away, has to pull away, and meanwhile, that's going to be 26 SCV. Oh god, 26 SCVs going down. How many workers have fallen in total this game? Meanwhile, Ryung dropping on top of the high ground. He drops in, but there's an observer in position. Cheeky moves so far. 59 SCVs have gone down this game. Yeah, too many economic losses at the same time. The Marines go down, the Marauders as well. Yeah, too many losses here for Ryung. Losing far too much. Ryung, he pulls away. He pulls back. You're amassing a more army. Looking to give chase. And now he's got his Colossus. Yeah, the Colossus has arrived, and now we're going for the kill. We still have some mine shots. They do have some good connections. But gee, oh my god. Very nice mine shots. But it still doesn't matter here. At the end of the day, the economy is just far too low. Very nice control of the herO. Avoids the mine shots. Does focus on the Marauders. And with that herO, he is snowballing out of control. He snowballs out of control. Getting another Colossus up. Second Colossus, third Colossus on the way. herO getting a 5th base. Getting up to 5 bases. And with that, we're down to 4 Marauders. 3, 2. 2 Marauders left. GG gets called, and herO takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. herO will take a lead in the series. A very intense back and forth here. Ryung going for a hyper greedy build, and we had a really chaotic mid-game, early to mid-game, when Ryung, he walked across the map, as so did herO going into 6 sentries, and we had a quote-unquote base trade where herO lost over 21 probes. I won't say like 25-ish workers went down. It was insane damage. Meanwhile, Ryung lost 18 SCVs. Things got very messy, but in the end, herO, he was able to maintain map control. Shout out to those proxy pylons warping across the map, keeping Ryung at home, and Ryung couldn't do any more counter damage. GG. GG, well played. With that, herO, he'll take a lead in the series as we load into game number 2. Going to be loading into the Old Sun Temple. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the Old Sun Temple, we have the South Green Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss representing T1. Leading the series 1-0. It is herO. And spawning in the top right hand corner of the Old Sun Temple, as we do have cross spawns actually. We have the South Korean Terran, the Red Terran, representing on side. It is ryung. Let's go. Let us go. As we are settling into into game number 2. Again, here he does have a lead in the series. It was a very chaotic game when it came to the early to mid game in game number 1. But now welcome to a 4-player spawn map. You can spawn in top left, bottom right, and top right as well. 4 possible spawn locations. Unlike Fear and Faith, there is no connecting monorail system, but we do have speed zones. Speed zones scattered throughout the center of the map. This does help with the worker scouting across the map. So again, this will help when it comes to getting your worker across and looking for your opponents. Otherwise, because of the small locations, this will be favoring longer and later games. The rush distance by ground on this map is very short, specifically bottom right and bottom left, or basically horizontal close spawns. Close spawns is very short rush distance. Aggression is heavily favored, and we've seen many a player struggle to defend against all-ins on Old Sun Temple. But we have diagonal spawn locations. We have long spawns here. Longer rush distance by ground. As a result, this favors longer later games, and I want to say that favors Protoss. That means that herO will have an easier time building up on 3, 4, 5, 6 bases, gaining map control, and containing ryung. We'll see if that's the case. We'll see how ryung will adjust its approach. First things first, we have to figure out where each other is. Where we are. To figure out where we are and where we are headed, we have to figure out our spawn locations, as herO is going for the cross scout. He's scouting across the map, and herO, he will find ryung quite early on. ryung, likewise, he will, quote-unquote, deny the scouts. Probe is going to be hunted down, but herO does at least confirm the spawn location. Was Marine first? Oh, Marine first into a later Reaper. Okay. This is a bit of a difference here from ryung. Remember last game, ryung, he went Marine first into Reactor. Here it's Marine first into Reaper. With this, ryung, he will have a little bit of extra scouting information, but this does make sense just because ryung doesn't know where herO is, right? So it makes sense to invest a little bit harder here into some scouting early on. See, chat, standard scouting Colossus, true. It's a reference to the previous Colossus wandering into the army. Meanwhile, we do have a Robo Opener. That is different. Robo Opener at a herO. Now, typically, Robo Openers lead into a Warp Prism, into early game Gateway Aggression, into Fast Bay, into Fast Colossus. Meanwhile, ryung will confirm the Fast Robo. Yeah, big scout here by ryung. Does find herO, nibbling at the economy, and he does get 1 probe. Very nice. Yeah, 1 probe goes down. Can we get 2? No. No, it doesn't get 2, but it does get 1 worker. It does get a no shot. ryung, calm down. ryung, he's laughing. He's laughing at herO for letting him out. ryung, you're an animal, pap. You're an animal. I'll whip out the Google Translate. ryung. Okay. So here said you're being cheeky, Pep. You're being cheeky. He technically said you're being sneaky. So ryung, of course, was laughing here. herO was being like, "Oh, you're being sneaky," and then ryung, he's like, "Why is this so funny when they try to surround and they can't?" Oh my god, the banter. herO saying, "I trusted them too much," in reference to the probes. Meanwhile, Sentry does get sniped. Nice big off. Nice big off there by ryung. I think, yeah, he's also commenting. I mean, herO's slipping up. I mean, true, he is slipping up. ryung's having a blast. He's like, mate, what's going on? Oh my god. As this was happening here on the right hand side, which is most likely what they're actually laughing about. The mine shot went off, Sentry goes down, Prisms is denied, and ryung, has a really good start this game. Very strong start. Shuts down the Prism, snipes the Sentry, kills a worker, avoided the surround. ryung's having fun. Meanwhile, herO moving out with his mine drop, moving out towards the main base. herO dropping into the main as well. We're going for our drops. We do see that herO, he's somewhat in position. These are vanilla marines, bear that in mind. Vanilla marines. Mines are across the map this time. herO cannot get in. Oh, he's going for it though. He is going for it. Does unload. Yeah, it does manage to unload. Mine drop into the main base. Here is he paying attention. We gotta lock in. We gotta lock in. Oh, does pay attention. Does pull away. Oh my god, 3 probes. 3 probes go down. 1 stalker, 5 probes in total. Very nice mine drop at the same time. Dropping the main base, catching out some marines, but only marines so far. Oh, and maybe a couple of SCVs. Gets the tech lab. Tech lab goes down, which will delay the second tank. So second tank is delayed, but otherwise herO, he does hold, he does defend. Back at home, we do have extra gateways. Not going for the bay after the robo, going for instead a double forge. Wow, double forge, double upgrades, rushing into charge, not blink. So there's no blink. Going to mass zealots. herO holding his ground. And once again, still bleeding out marines. Just marines, which, I mean, not the most expensive unit to lose here. Some cheap losses here for herO. Does maintain himself, building up the upgrades. +1, combat shields, stim. Once all these upgrades kick in, then herO can start to move out. Oh. As herO still getting more value, gets an SCV. Gets 1. 1 SCV goes down. At the same time, Mindro comes back in. Jesus. He's going to be cleaned up. And herO defends. Oh, here he does defend. Meanwhile, oh, I spoke too soon. No shot. That was the prism. The prism of the immortal goes down. No shot. Where's the laughing? Where's the... Oh, no. That's brutal. herO, he was distracted. He was focusing here on the defense back at home. He'll lose the immortal and the warp prism. Ay, ay, ay. Not like this, Pappy. Not like this. Very shaky start for herO. Losing quite a lot early on, and you can see the supply disparity because of the lead that herO has. Because of all these little incremental losses. herO, he's pushing. Observer does spot this. herO, he knows. herO trying to intercept. Remember, there's no blink. Remember, there's no blink stalkers. Just regular stalkers. herO going for the counterattack at the same time. herO dropping towards the main base. He's been spotted at the same time. Ravens are harassed on the right. Catching out 1, 2 probes. Nice rise so far. Meanwhile, here's ready in the main. He's ready in the main base. Back at home, there are reinforcements. Zealots, they do rally in. Into the minefield, assuming we do burrow. Yep. Yeah, there's the burrow in the tank. Can we lift? We can. Yeah, nice lift on the tank. Drop is deflected. herO he defends. herO, he does defend. Ordered her harass into the natural. Drop is unloading. herO still has the supply lead. He still has that lead. herO catching up the army in the center. At least trying to. Here does pull away. Bearing in mind there's still no splash damage for herO. Yeah, Zealots are getting caught out. 2-2's almost done. Here he does have some pretty impressive upgrades here for his gateway army. Gonna have 2-2 over the 1-0. And herO, he's still building up. And again, he's building up a very hefty army here. At the same time, Proxy Pylon coming into play. We got the Zealot warp in. Zealots warp in. herO, he reacts. Sends everything back. He sends back home, and he will clean this up. So nice defense. herO, I'm sure he would have noticed something was wrong about that. And we'll see if he does look for a proxy. So far, he's not being active. Observers over the main army. Here, moving out. herO in position. Oh. Waiting for the warp in. There it is. Not quite much to warp in, actually. Yeah, warping into Zealots. herO, he commits. He's moving out. Again, 2 Zealots, they shouldn't get much done. And here comes the armor shred. Ooh, yeah, nice connection. It does go with the Stalkers, mainly Stalkers, a couple of sentries. Nice force fields looking down the army. Quick pickup. Yeah, ryung, he pulls away. ryung, he's locked in. He's locked in, baby. 2 more results across the map. ryung pushing forward. Oh, no energy on the Raven. And no energy. Despite that, still trading well. He does trade well. Stepping on forward. Zelza going down. And ryung, does he have enough? It looks like he does. The mines. Ooh. The mine shot's going off. Forcing a bit of friendly fire. Wait, do we have... What's going on? We just keep seeing 2 warp-ins at a time. We have money. We're not supply blocked. herO. Yeah, here's being broken. It's being broken here. Now there's the warp-in. But it's so late. It's so delayed. And with that, ryung, he does it. He breaks on through. He overwhelms. Again, it was a messy game from herO. Hence all the laughing that was going on. It was a messy game out of herO. It all fell apart. And ryung, he does know about control. He takes down the Zealots. He takes down the mineral line. Desperation out of herO. And with that, the third is fallen. The third is fallen. We're stepping on forward, catching out the Colossus. Massive EMP. The EMP back. Ay, ay, ay. And with reinforcements, it should be enough. And it is. It is enough. Takes down a Colossus. Gets one. Gets the other. Catching out. Oh, barely the Colossus gets away. Just barely. Barely rolls away. And the ryung, he's back. Ah. Oh no. You mess with the tuna, you get the fins, pappy. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, ryung is scanning. He's rotating over, checking for an expansion. There is none. He's looking to see. Yeah. Checking for a base. There's no third. herO has built up to 3 Colossus. Massive Colossus counts, but again, it should not be enough. Army stepping in, diving on the first Colossus, gets 1. He gets 1, pappy. Behind us, not getting a 4th CC, working towards it. Yeah, working towards a 4th base. Oof. Messy fight here by ryung. Yeah, a little bit messy. Again, his reinforcements are delayed. And herO barely holds on. He barely does hold on. But again, there's no economy here. There's no third base. He's long distance mining. herO should still be outscaled. If he had like Storm or Disruptors or DTs or something of that nature, then maybe. But right now, he just has a straight up vanilla army. Just gateway heavy, upgrade heavy. Okay, he responds. This time he's got Vikings. He has Vikings, pappy. Does pull some of the boys. Oh my god. Yeah, a little bit of overkill here, but the Prism goes down. Colossus as well. And now just a gateway army. Just Stalkers as else remain. And with that, ryung, he will clean up. He'll clean up, he'll clean house. Will lose a bunch of SCVs in the process. Well, cleans up the final army. Might even give chase. We'll see if he finds that proxy pylon. But GG. GG gets called. And ryung, he ties up the series 1-1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. ryung, he does type the series here. Again, ryung having... he was vibing this game as we did see some small but also critical mistakes there from herO, losing the Prism, losing workers, losing a sentry as well. All did slowly add up. ryung had a very comfortable early to mid game, and with that he snowballed out of control. And with that, we're going into the ace match. Going to be loading into Fear and Faith. Let's go. Let us go. As we are loading into Game 3. Another 4-player small map. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Fear and Faith, we have the South Green Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss. Oh, the Blue Protoss himself representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Green Terran, the Red Terran. Representing on side, it is ryung. Here we go. Here we go, as we are going to be opening up. As we are going to be settling in. Yeah, from here, welcome to Fear and Faith. We do come into close spawns. Oh, okay. So vertical spawns here on Fear and Faith are right next to each other. Short rush distance by ground. Now, we've yet to really experience ByuN go for a 2-base all-in, but if you were to go for one, this would be the ideal position for it. First things first, though, scouting. Does have to scout across the map, does have to figure out what's going on and where exactly we are. Of course, we have the tubing system, the monorail system to be able to confirm that, to get eyes on each other. herO, he will scout ByuN eventually. Here he does go top left, into bottom right, into bottom left, into eventually bottom right. So hero's going to be scouting ByuN last. It'll be the last place he looks. Meanwhile, ByuN just going for a double gas opener. Oh, okay. So ByuN, he has been mixing up his openers every game. Game 1, it was Marine first into Reactor into 3 CC 3 racks. Game 2, we saw the earlier Reaper into Widowmine follow-up into more aggression. Meanwhile, this is more tech heavy here. It is going for the faster second gas geyser into a faster factory, more so than last game. Okay. Technically, I don't want to rule out a one-base all-in. If anyone were to one-base all-in, like the on-site boys there want to do it, referring to both Maru and ByuN, they do like to mix it in. They're willing to. They're both like-minded in that way. Here he does eventually find ByuN. Does find him, pokes in. Did poke in after the Reaper had gone. I'm sure ByuN is commenting on the scouts. As ByuN is looking for his opponents, going for the cross scout first. I'll whip out the Google Translate. I'd like to believe he's like, where are you? And here's us. Here's laughing. Let's see. Oh no. ByuN, he said, stop it. And they are. That was in reference to the probe. Reference to the work. But now, Twilight Council opener out of herO. Again, at this point, ByuN, he has confirmed hero's location. He hasn't scouted him, but he's scouted everywhere else, right? He's scouted top left and bottom left. Behind this, going for a... Oh, do you see what I see? This is old school. We're going for a second racks before starport. So this screams 2-base all-in. From here, we can go into even a third racks before starport. That'll be a prioritization of stim and combat shields into a heavy... Yep, there it is. Third racks before starport. 2-base all-in out of ByuN. He's going to double down. I do like the idea of 2-base all-in and considering the spawn locations, for sure. Now, there is one downside. That is that there is a ramp coming into the natural base. But ideally, ByuN, he'd want to try to catch out the army as he was taking a third. Reapers, they bust into the main. Ooh, it's going to be a costly trade here, getting one probe, but one probe goes down. Does he even get a full scout off? Hellies are picking towards the natural. Oh, they're lighting up. Oh my god. Whew. Shout to the battery. The battery does come in clutch. It does save the mineral line, and ByuN pulls away. When he pulls away, I do think that ByuN, he did have a little bit of lapse of control there. We could have gone in a little bit sooner, but does pull back, and in the end, herO will hold. He will hold, he will defend. Going for a robot before third base. Thankfully for herO, if herO realizes what's going on, he can start an early immortal. So he can start early immortal production. herO does try to shade in. But there is a full wall. Yeah, there is that full wall. With this, ByuN, he has the option to pull the boys. So 2-base all in regardless, but he can pull the boys as well. Just as a heads up. herO is taking a third. This is what we mentioned. So ideally, when ByuN gets across the map, he wants to ideally have herO out of position at the third location. herO should spot any kind of move out though, and he should be able to follow that move out and race back home to the high ground of the natural. Oh, he wants that tank. He will not get it. Ooh, herO gets punished. Yeah, herO being a little bit too greedy here. herO catching out the Hellion, but will take some permanent hull damage on these stalkers. That matters. Doesn't matter. Meanwhile, hero's going observer first. Again, still trying to piece together what's going on. Alien does skirt around the edge. We're in a good mood, clearly. He is. He's in a good mood. He's not smurging, Bab. He's not smurging. And here he comes. Yeah, here he comes. We have 3 tanks. We have a 4th tank that's going to be rallied. We have Stim and combat shields, which will finish up in a couple of seconds. ryangki does harass on the left-hand side, and ryangki, ooh, does get 1 volley off. A little bit cheeky there. He was hoping to catch the entire army. Tank shot does graze one of the stalkers. And, oh, there it is. Pulls the boys. Does pull the boys. So the boys are being pulled. 2 base all in out of ryang. Back at home, we do have 1 immortal halfway done, so that immortal will come into play. The boys are coming. ryang does catch a stalker. Gets 1, gets 2. Ooh, 2 stalkers go down. Here he does react too late. Yeah, late reaction out of hero. Does get 1 marine. Pulling back to the immortal. The boys are here. And the tanks, can they siege in time? Yeah, can they siege up? The boys, they zone back the immortal, and we do siege on top of the ramp. Yeah, 3 tanks, they siege up. Here, he's stuck on the low ground. Oh, yeah, he's stuck on the low ground. More boys are being pulled. The immortal gets surrounded. Robot gets depowered, and here come the stalkers. They dive in. They go for the dive, and they're going to get punished. They're going to get punished. Every stalker's going to go down. Massive tank shots going off here on the sentry, on the warp ins, and does he have enough? Oh, my God, it's close. It's still very close. Yeah, very close, very clutch. In the end, the final tank falls. We do have some reinforcements coming in. If those tanks, they did have some miscontrol, they attacked the sentry. If they had attacked the warping and zealots, I think that would have been enough. But ryang is still going. ryang is still going. He's setting up here the wall, throwing down his bunkers. This natural base is going to be forfeit. Remember, the robot is depowered. But ryang, he was so close here. Zalse trying to commit in. He's going for the tank. Yeah, tank will survive. Would you have a repair? Nice repair. Ooh, Zelce breaks through the bunker, and they get shut down. They get shut down. ryang, he does it. He breaks on 3 snowballs out of control. He breaks the main army, pushing to the natural as well. There's nothing at the 3rd base. GG gets called, and ryang, he will claim the series 2-1, taking down herO and advancing on to the semi-finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Pure vibes out of ryang, Papi. He was in a very good mood here. Again, had a very strong start when it comes to game number 2, able to catch out herO and gain momentum early on. Here in game number 2, we saw ryang double down and go for a 2-base all-in, and herO, he did slip up here and there, losing 1 stalker here and there, taking some extra tank shots to the face. And of course, we saw that because of the spawn locations, the 2-base all-in was favored because it took less time to get across the map. So a stronger 2-base all-in. When herO pulled back, he also pulled back to the low ground as well. The first immortal got surrounded by the SCVs. It all lined up there for ryang. GG. GG, well played. ryang, he does advance on into the semis. The tuna, he's crazy. It was all about the smack talk. True, true. The mental damage. Oh, no. It was too great. It was too much, man. It was too much. But GG. GG well played. With that, ryang, he will claim the series will advance on. Big win for ryang, as of course herO, he is the best Protoss in the world. But ryang does take him out. ryang, he's known for being a TVT sniper. True, true. I did see a comment related to that in the chat. 100%. Like, ryang, he has the best TVT in the world. But he has some really strong kind of bursts in TVP. Like, we've seen ryang take down Max before. We've seen him take down herO before as well. But he doesn't do it on a regular basis. We bring this up all the time. It's kind of like Mana, where ryang, it takes him like a couple of months, and he will charge up. He'll charge up. He'll get into a good mood. You know, he'll pop off. He'll pop off against a Protoss, and he can look amazing, for sure. He can look on point and can look in form. And we'll see how he looks against his next opponents, because up next it's going to be a team kill, actually. True, true. It is going to be a team kill. As of course, we do have a new member for Team Onside, and it is going to be SHIN. Oh boy. So TVZ, SHIN versus ryang, the Onside boys they face off. For those who are maybe unaware, SHIN did recently join Onside at this point, like 3 weeks ago, like 2-3 weeks ago, relatively recently. Did join the team, and we'll see how he's able to how they're able to compare to each other here as we load into At Attorney's Edge. Now, coming into this matchup, it's a very different dynamic. TVZ right now is pretty intense. It's very, very difficult. It does require a lot of speed, a lot of aggression, a lot of intensity out of the Terran. We'll see how ByuN can keep up. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing onside. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Zerg player himself, also representing onside his new teammate. It is SHIN. Rocking that dark portrait. Love to see it. Love to see it, Pat, because we are getting into our next game. Into our fresh series. Okay. Now, coming into this, as we just mentioned, TVZ, I would say right now requires a lot of mechanical skill. You do need it to be very fast. You need to be hyper aggressive. I would say that ByuN, Cure, Maru have been struggling to kind of meet that mechanical skill. Clem so far has been the only one that can embrace it quite well, to be honest. It's very intense. It's very aggressive. It's very all in. But we'll see how ByuN will adjust and how he will approach this matchup at the moment. The other option that I'm thinking of is maybe mech. Like ByuN, he does like to mix in mech every now and then. Very Gumiho-esque, if you will. He does like to mix in the mech. And mech, I mean, we've seen Clem even try mech recently as well with mixed success. Like actually, sorry, I was thinking of someone else. ByuN, he did recently beat SHIN with mech. True, he did actually beat SHIN. This was last week? Was it last week in Sparkling Tuna Cup? Yeah, Sparkling Tuna Cup last week in the semis. In the semifinals, ByuN did defeat SHIN with some mech, so that might have inspired ByuN. Maybe. I don't know if he was watching. I don't know if it was. No, yeah, he was casting. Yeah, I think ByuN, he was casting that week of STC. So might have been inspired by some of that mech. I might be getting ahead of myself there. We'll see. We shall see. For now, we do have our initial openers here. Delayed gas out of SHIN. Oh, okay. So SHIN is being very greedy. He's going gasless. By going gasless, this does mean that we will be having a faster third hatchery, and usually it means that we're going to be skipping link speed and going for some roach mid-game play of a pull first. So pull into hatchery, into typically a third hatchery, into late gases, into skipping link speed, into roach play. We'll see if that'll be the case for SHIN. But that's usually the trajectory here. Likewise, these Ducklings, the goal is to delay the CC. Delay, maybe even force a cancel. Reaper does move out through the center. ByuN, no SCV scout. Ooh, this is punishing the lack of SCV scouts. Ay. Yeah, no SCV scouts, so no reaction. The Reaper gets across the map. Lings, they do slip in, and Lings, they're here to delay. They're here to delay. Ooh, they got the ramp? Uh-oh. Okay. He doesn't get baited in. A couple of boys are being pulled. We're going for the CC, and again, can he force a cancel? That's what he wants. Reaper's racing back. Reaper's racing back home. CC gets low. Marine has arrived. And so far, one SCV falls. They're getting, one SCV, one Marine as well. And Marine falls as well. Do we get a second SCV? The answer is no. ByuN will hold. Yeah, ByuN, he does hold on. Honestly, pretty good defense. This could have been so much worse. And behind this, we're going for a 2-1-1. Oh. Opposite of mech. The opposite of mech. SHIN, he did not scout.
Here comes a new challenger.
God damn it. I need to stop casting SHIN. I just need I can never look at this POV. I just can't do it. God damn it. Meanwhile, behind this 2-1-1. 2-1-1 here out of ByuN, going for stim and going for a heavy bio timing, and SHIN currently is unaware. He's unaware, in the dark. Sit down. So now again, SHIN, he's still actually going for link speed. Okay, so he stays in gas. He's going for link speed. We'll see what is done with this gas, whether we go into a fast 2-based layer, or if we go into roach play, if we go into an early evo chamber. Eyes are on SHIN, as my assumption was that he would skip it, but no, he's embracing it. So now the Reaper does pull back. Behind this, again, we're going to be hitting that sim timing. I should also emphasize this is not an all-in. This is an aggressive timing, that is true, but typically you expand behind it. Typically. I'm still hedging everything right now just because, you know, the current meta is still in flux and things have been very chaotic, and we have been seeing an influx of 2-base all-ins, very much so from players like Clem and ByuN and Maru and all Terrans alike. So I don't want to rule that out yet. But if this wasn't all in, we'd go for a third Rax. There'd be a third Rax, and would be seeing a bigger commitment into marine production. Oh. Reaper gets caught. Reaper does get caught out. And do we catch out the Marines? No. Yeah, so far, ByuN, he does hold on. A more iconic duo. Pro players with their pants down, back. True, true. The pants be down. Smooch. As we are going to Ling Bane. Going to Ling Bane, our +1 carapace is on the way. Honestly, a good response so far against a 2-on-1. Everything's kind of lining up here for SHIN. There is still a window of time where these Marines can get some damage done, but we'll see. We'll see if he's able to keep up and where ByuN hits first. Oh, I didn't leave the Marine behind. That's good. Double Baneley Nest, okay. Bit of a misstep. Marines, they drop towards the third. Again, SHIN, he should have enough to keep up. Drop towards the main base. And SHIN so far, he has 32 lings. It should be fine. He should be fine. And I have a question for you. Where's the third? I mentioned earlier that usually with a 2-on-1, you expand behind it. There's no... I'm looking behind him. There's nothing here. There's no third CC. Yeah, no third CC. Another medevac is coming in to reinforce. Now we're going for the third. This is very late third base here for ByuN. That's a third CC after the third medevac gets across the map. That's crazy. So ByuN is very committed here. He's very, very committed. Technically not all in, but he needs to find some damage. He has to trade well. Stepping on forward. There's really much of an opening. Yeah, the mine shot does not quite connect. Forced to pick up. Behind this SHIN, now he can drone. Now would be the time to drone up the fourth base. So far, SHIN is up to 3 base saturation, building a more Ling Bane, getting a second Evo chamber, +2 carapace, fourth base. Still no droning over there. We go. A couple of drones now being squeezed out. SHIN playing it safe. Collapsing the army. And he does trade well. Yeah, he trades well. He splits towards the end. Split. And this is looking rough for ByuN. Right now the supplies are still relatively close, but this is where the soup is lying to you. SHIN's growth, once he gets up to proper 4 base saturation, which should be soon, he should then be able to max out and snowball out of control. I will say though that, again, SHIN is very adverse to droning. We're still not droning up the 4th base, even though there is room to do so. Like, this army isn't really getting any bigger for ByuN. So SHIN playing this very scared. ByuN going for a double drop on the south side. SHIN, and now he drones, but I would say this is a minute too late, maybe even 2 minutes. At least one. So we're getting messy. Oh! So we're getting messy. ByuN jumping on the south side to get spotted. SHIN will have some time to respond. Does have some time. The mine shot! Oh my god. Mine shot goes off. We get a split towards the end. SHIN is holding. And finally, SHIN drones up to almost 80 workers. He's gotten here. Now we can take a 5th base. We'll see where SHIN wants to expand. We'll see where it goes. Throwing it here to delay. Here to delay. Mine shots, they... Ooh, do go off. Get a couple of these mine shots, but overall, SHIN, he still does hold. He defends. Now he's getting a 5th expansion. Now coming in on the south side. Oh! Better mine shot. Go to my shot at ByuN. Again, so far, SHIN is holding on. He's slowly building up a greater army, getting his 5th base up and running, up to 83 workers. And ByuN, he's trying to keep up the pace, and we kind of opened up in this series talking about this, how right now TVZ is very heavily reliant on mass drop play like this. Just mass aggression, mass drop play, keeping the Zerg player busy, trading well, and hindering the economy, hindering the bases. Unfortunately, I would say that the most that ByuN has achieved so far with these drops, and he has been, you know, as active as he can be, and he's going for this double drop play, is denying creep. Like, he's been denying creep and somewhat trading with the Ling Bane. He needs more than this, though. Now, there's still a lot of potential with the Widow Mines, at least. Like, Widow Mines, especially with their buff, that can be very, very devastating, very impactful to a fight. Widow Mines are spreading out. And can ByuN bait him in? Oh! ByuN picks up. Yeah, ByuN picks up. Meanwhile, decent mine shots. The mine shots are okay. Now dropping into the center. Pushing to the top side. At this point, ByuN is rallying. Oh, and once again, some decent mine connections. Oh my god, okay, we get good shots. We're connecting. Yeah, the mines are popping up. Oh my god, catching at every single Ling Bane here. Ay, one Baneling survives. ByuN, this is it. This is your moment. It's time. Stim in, Pappy, stim in. Target fire. There we go. Yeah, does focus on the Baneling. Stims on forward. Lings are going down. Hydras are exposed. Oof. Yeah, ByuN is popping off, and I would want ByuN to stick around. I would want ByuN to keep pushing here. Again, the Hydras are on their own. Lings have gone down. Banes have gone down. ByuN, he's backing off for a moment. It's getting a little bit too excited. Here come the reinforcements. And the Widow Mines, they did survive. Yeah, the mines, they survived. There was no detection. Overseer now morphing in. And SHIN, he does get 1, 2, 3 Widow Mines. 3 mines go down. ByuN, he was just a little bit too late. Lost 3 mines. Trying to push forward. We gotta keep going. Keep pushing, Pappy. Oh god. He's almost there. There's still more Banelings morphing in. Yeah, they're morphing in at this point. Once again, mine shots stay. Ooh, don't go off. Yeah, they don't go off this time. Better connections here by SHIN, collapsing on the army, and he will force a pickup. Yeah, he'll force a pickup. He cleans up the minefield. SHIN, he holds. Oh, he does hold on, and with that, ByuN, he's losing momentum, losing control. Now we can start to respread that creep. Oh my god. The mines, they still keep connecting. They keep going. Oh my god, the bird Banes. Let's go. Mines in their own way. Yeah, mines are popping up on both sides. Gold base is being taken. ByuN, who will barely deny some of the mining here. SHIN was like, you know what? These mines are pretty good. We'll get mine. We'll get our own. We'll get our own. Drag some of the mines. SHIN cleans up on the south side, pushing towards the bases. And ByuN, he is running out of steam. He's running out of money. He needs a 4th base. He needs that 4th expansion, but alas, reinforcements to get caught out, and SHIN has done it. Again, the moment that ByuN lost control here on the top side, that was it. That was it. That was the moment that SHIN needed. As he breaks through the main army, Sturbal's out of control, gets across the map. SHIN, he will lose his 5th expansion, but it's fine. He has the gold. He has the gold base. ByuN, he sims in. Trades well against the Zerglings, but Banelings have arrived. Oh no! Oh my god! No, late reaction. Late reaction. I mean, no 3rd medevac. It's all he could lift up, Pappy. It's all he could lift. And again, with that ByuN, he just cannot really build up an army. Down to a handful of Marines. Double drop back in. Forcing a cancel. Forcing SHIN back home. forcing him back. And Ryung's still trying to maintain himself. I mean, he's trying to get his fourth base on running as well. I mean, he's muling his heart out. He be muling. And we get some decent mine shots. Oh, God. Easy connections, but here comes the fungal. Here comes the fungal. Oh, barely not. Oh, he does boost away. Top side, Shin's ready. Shin's in position. Lurker tech is on the way. Hive is on. 3-3 is kicking in as well here for Shin. If I remember there, I thought that was a BC teleporting. I was like, oh my god. I feel like we rarely get to see the hologram here. I got scared, man. Got scared. My trauma. And she just counter-attacks. Yeah, it does counter-attack across the map, breaking through the planetary. Massive bailing shot. Oh, there we go. Bailing's they collapse in at the same time. ryung tries to drop, but alas, Shin, he's ready. He's ready back at home. And Shin, who will cripple the economy, 25 SCV kills. Again, ryung is completely all in, but he's just running out of steam. He has his final army. He does have a large supply to work with, large army supply. That's a large army, but that's all he has. Oof. That's all he's got left. Marines, they try to stim in. Emphasis on try. And Shin has done it. Yeah, Shin here overwhelms, he breaks through the main army. GG gets called, and Shin takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Shin, who will claim a lead in the series, but again, a very intense game here. ryung had some moments, to be honest. He had a couple of key moments. I do still remember, though, when ryung had a really good fight, his mind's connected with everything, and then instead of stimming forward to chase down the Hydras, he stimmed away, picked up, and pulled back. His reinforcements were delayed, and by the time he arrived, he lost 3 Widow Mines as well, as detection had just morphed in for Shin. And I feel like these couple of moments, these couple of seconds did allow Shin to recover, and it did take away some of the momentum that ryung otherwise had. I feel like that was the moment for ryung to stim forward, and he did stim away instead. And with that, Shin, he recovered. He was able to breathe a little bit, get some breathing room, able to build back up, and eventually took control of the map. GG. GG, well played. With that, Shin does take a lead in the series. Now we're going to be loading the end of 2, and we'll see if ryung can bounce back. So we are loading into lockdown. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of lockdown, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing onside. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. It is ryung. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player. The red Zerg player leading the series 1-0, also representing onside. It is Shin. Let's go. Let us go as we are settling into game number 2 here. Welcome to Lockdown. Lockdown is an interesting map in the map pool. Does have some unique base locations where you can expand towards your opponents. We do have like 4 or 5 different planes of elevation here when it comes to building up across the map as well. So high ground natural, high ground main, or higher ground main, high ground third base, and even high ground fourth base technically, as we do have again plenty of ramps and plenty of points of elevation, as we did mention. But we'll see how ryung will approach this. Remember last game, ryung, he went for a borderline 2 base all in. His third was so late. He was so aggressive last game. His third was so delayed. He went for a 2-1-1 into a third medevac, into a full marine drop, into eventually a third base at around 10 minutes. Like, it was insane how late that was. At the same time, Shin was scared. He was scared about what was happening, and Shin also delayed his own droning more than he needed to. He was being very, very safe and overly safe at times. That did allow ryung to actually have a presence in the mid game, but we'll see how our players adjust coming to game 2. I would expect a different build out of our Terran. Likewise, this time it is going to be hatch first. Remember last game Shin went pool first, so this time hatch, pool, gas. Still going to be going for a later gas geyser, but this is a more standard build out of Shin, much more standard, as the pool timing does allow the Zerglings to arrive in time to defend. against the Reaper specifically. Speaking of, no Reaper. Oh, that is different. Marine first out of ryuN, and you can see he's banking the Marine, and the goal typically is to catch this Overlord. Typically. When I catch the Overlord, Overlord pokes in, Marine is activated, the Overlord is going to rush here to the pillar. And oh, we're going to chase down the Overlord. He's an animal. Yeah, ryuN is going to chase him down. Will supply block and take vision away from SHIN. Does take it away. As SHIN, he's moving further out. And ryuN will not catch him. If SHIN had stuck around, if he had stayed at that pillar, 100% it dies. 100% the Overlord would have died. But SHIN, he recognized that, of course, there was a high chance that the Rax was going to be chasing, so he does pivot away into the dead space. Into that dead space. You know, ryuN pulling back. From here, we're going for a faster factory. Last game, there was already a second Rax on the way. So this time it's not a 2-on-1. This time it's looking more like either a 1-1-1 or a third TC before starport. You have the answer, 1-1-1. So a much more aggressive start here. We're going for the Hellion, potentially Banshee opener. Potentially we'll see if a tech lab is made. The add-ons are a little bit delayed here for ryuN because of the floating Rax. Because of the float. As there's a first add-on swap. But it's going to be a little bit too late to add on swap for a tech lab. Meanwhile, that's a 3:30 lair timing. Okay, around 3:35 on 2 bases before the third base, so very 2-base heavy. If you remember, in game 1, I theorized that SHIN would skip link speed. Really, it was game 2. No link speed. No link speed out of SHIN, so SHIN is skipping link speed into a very fast lair into 2-base roach play. Roach Warren gets thrown down. Now, because of the fast lair, this means that fast roach speed. Technically, it could mean like a Nidus based all in, but again, higher chance we're going into roach speed. Meanwhile, ryuN is going for a Hellbat push. That's a build order loss. That's that's so unlucky here. Again, SHIN, he sees nothing, by the way. SHIN is blindly going 2-base roach. Meanwhile, ryuN is blindly going for a 2-base Hellbat all in. And what do you want against Hellbats? Roaches. Roaches, they're perfect against Hellbats. So this is very unlucky here for ryuN. Oh boy. As ryuN is moving out, here come the Hellions, here come the Hellbats. We already have 5 roaches on the way. SHIN sees nothing, by the way. SHIN he has no idea what's going on. He doesn't see the army coming, but he's going to be ready for it. He's going to be ready. As 5 roaches have arrived, SHIN is droning. He's droning, getting +1 carapace. Hellbats, they reveal themselves, so have the roaches. And with that, ryuN is going to try to force his way through. Roaches, they hit a tank. Yeah, they tank well. Some of the roaches do clump up, so some miscontrol here by SHIN. Yeah, a bit of miscontrol, but SHIN is fine. Like, regardless, SHIN is fine. Drop into the main base. SHIN did lose 1 queen, and this Hellbat might get a drone. No. No. Gets 1 shot off, but is going to be zoned away, and the aggression has subsided. I say that ryuN's going to keep going in. SHIN's out of position. True. Yeah, SHIN's out of position. Hellies are busting into the mineral line. Drones are lining up. Oh my god. They're clumping. The drones are split. Bappy split. Oh my god. Oh, that's it. You barely surround 10 drone kills though. Messy defense out of SHIN. Initially, the opener was good. The opener was perfect, but no, here he does stumble in the defense, does stumble when it comes to the control. 10 drones do go down, and ryuN, he's still in a rough position, by the way. Like, ryuN is still not looking good, but it could be worse. Could be worse. He could be down, 25 drones. Now, less so. Behind this, going into the third base, SHIN does scout the third, and he also scouts the research on the tech lab. It's going to be Hyperflight Rotors. It looks like mech. It does look like mech here. So ryuN is going to try to mech it up. SHIN is aware. Going for the Spire. Going into Mutaplay. Ooh. I mean, this is going to work well here. SHIN, he sees that there's no battle mech, right? There's no tech lab on the factory, so no Cyclones. It's purely going to be Hellion Banshee. The contamination! Very nice. Contaminates the Banshees. And the Spire is coming. Hellbat drop into natural. Roach Ravager's in position. And the Spire is halfway done. So far, unscouted. No, well, my apologies. It has been scouted.
Are under attack.
But does ryuN know? So this is the issue here. ryuN, he technically saw the Spire But looking at this, it could be a spore. He has to reconfirm. He does. There we go. He does reconfirm. Goes in. Now we should know. We do need cyclones. Okay, that'll do it as well. Widow mines. Widow mines are on the way. Job's going to be denied. At the same time, Hellions towards the third base. But again, Shin is in position. Despite that, Hellions is looking into the mineral line. Ooh, 3. Yeah, 3 drones go down for 3 Hellions. 1 Hellion barely gets away. Widow mines are amassing. Muta production has begun. And how many mines do we have? 2. Sorry, 1. This is where I have to ask the question here. Did ryung actually click on the spire? Does he actually know what's going on? No, he does. There's no reason to make Widow mines unless he was getting ready for mutas. Yeah, he knows. So reaction mine into Cyclone. He is aware. Macfield is on the way. And where are we burrowing? Ideally, we do want to hide these mines behind some of the production buildings. We just say poke in. Widow mine behind the refinery. Behind the factory as well. Ooh, 1 shot goes off. Catching out 1 muta, that's not bad. Yeah, 1 muta goes down. 2 mutas. Ooh, 3 mutas go down. Very nice mine connections. Getting a 4th muta towards the end. And we get 5. Barely not. Barely not, but still a much better trade here for ryung. So far, not worth it. This has not been worth it. This has been a waste of resources. ryung now is claiming a 3rd base, building up his economy. So far, a better follow-up here from ryung. And he's starting his recovery. Now, I say starting recovery because of the early game. Look at the worker count. 93. 93 drones. Shin, he reached peak economy a long time ago, baby. Let me tell you. 93 drones against 49 SCVs under 3 base saturation. Again, Shin, the supply is lying to you because it's about to become even larger when it comes to the disparity here. Shin, he can soon fixate on purely army production. And again, this is because of the strong start from Shin to shut down the Hellbat aggression, to shut down the Hellbats, the Hellions. Likewise, mutas have been at least keeping ryung busy back at home. They've been keeping him busy. And Shin will soon max. He will soon max out. There we go. Goes again, Shin, he is building up. Throwing down his wall of spines. We do have some Hellion aggression here, which will cause some workers, but honestly, this is probably better for Shin. I think it's ideal if Shin loses a couple of drones. It's fine. Oh no, he's re-droning. God damn it. Yeah, Shin is droning back up. Droning back up. And Shin is taking a little bit longer to max, but he's about to get there. Of course, ryung, he's fully turtling up. He's going to be able to knock down those towers, a wall off the center towers here on the left and right hand side. He's in an okay position, but the army size isn't quite there, to be honest. There's only 1 tank at the 3rd, for example. Just 1 tank at the 3rd base. I believe 2. Yeah, 3 tanks here at the 4th location. So again, still a very low tank count. Shin is being distracted. And Shin should soon move here. Oh, no bathing speed. Yeah, no bathing speed. Ultra Tech is on the way. Shin at this point can now break into one of these bases, and he should. Scanner reveals Hive, Ultras. Bathing speed. No shot we're going to wait for bathing speed to finish. This means that ryUn, even though he shouldn't be able to, he will max. ryUn, he will max out just because he's being left alone. Now, thankfully, SHIN is mass expanding at least, but this is better for ryUn. Better for ryUn. As now he's being allowed to max out with a mech-based army. Academy's on the way. The ideal late game composition, the best late game composition you go for is, ooh, very nice man shot, is going to be mech plus ghost. Technically, like Ghost, Liberator, Tank, Thor. So ryUn, he's perfecting his army. And SHIN is now moving in. Wouldn't borrow. Yeah, what do I say? Borrow, Bailey's roll into the planetary. The planetary is going to go down. Yeah, massive pickoff. And again, there was only one tank in position. Only one tank in position. ryUn completely out of position, caught with his pants down. The base will fall. And thankfully, SHIN didn't wait too much longer. Thankfully. Didn't wait too much longer. Rushing on forward. This is a little bit messy here. Rushing into a tank line. Connects well with some of the Hellbats. Biles on the tanks. Oh my god, no, never mind. Biles on the tanks. Not a bad trade here for SHIN. SHIN is supply blocked. But it will take down another tank. And another tank goes down. Again, SHIN remaxing. It does rebuild, does remax. From here, SHIN, he is now maxed out with ultras. We've got ultras on the way. I don't think there's any vipers. Yeah, no vipers. We have a couple of infestors. But again, SHIN is just building up, maxing out once again. ryUn, he's setting up back at home, fully walling off for a second time. Bearing in mind, he's still recovering from the previous losses. Still recovering. Nice Hellbat harass. And nice harass. Moving in for a second time. It's gonna be a lot of Bailings. How good are the mine shots? Not good enough. Yeah, not good enough. Bailings, they will make their way through. They're collapsing on top of tanks of all things. Oh my god, massive mine shots towards the end. But the CC goes down. The CC goes down. Not the most efficient fight here from SHIN, throwing away a lot of Bailings. But GG. GG gets called. And SHIN, he will claim the series 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. SHIN, he will overwhelm. Thankfully, he was able to break through that fourth base that first time. I was concerned that SHIN was being too passive, and he was being very passive. A lot of his upgrades delayed him, specifically bailing speed. So SHIN, he was giving ryUn a long time to build up and to max out, but he was still able to roll in and knock down the fourth base. Again, ryUn, he only had one tank in position. One tank, and I want to say like 2 mines, which was not enough, so the base went down. Mineral line as well, and SHIN, he traded well. SHIN, he traded well enough, takes down ryUn, advances on to the grand finals, and with that we have our first finalist. And we'll see. We'll find out who will join SHIN in the grand finals. GG, well played. We're going to be going on a short break. And when we come back, we'll have the upper semis. It's going to be a best of 3 between Clem and Classic. Oh boy, we'll see you soon. We'll see you soon after this short break. back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to the KungFu Cup, the KFC 2026 week number 14. We are back. We returned here with the semi-finals. We just wrapped up with SHIN versus herO of all players in the lower semis, and SHIN did advance on to the grand finals. We're here to determine who will play against SHIN in those finals. Will it be a Terran or a Protoss? Let's go. Let's find out. Let's find out. So we're going to be jumping into a TVP. Clem versus Classic up first on Lockdown. Let's go. We're jumping to Lockdown. Of course, we were just in Lockdown. True. Again, an interesting map in the map pool, a little bit larger, plenty of ramps, plenty of points of elevation as well. When it comes to defensive play and defensive setup, we did see herO attempt to play mech on this map. We'll see how our players will adjust their approach here in a TVP. As spawning in the top right corner of Lockdown, we have the South Korean Protoss, the blue Protoss for Virtus Pro. It is Classic. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the French Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. Let's go. Let us go. We do have our fresh best of 3. Our TVP is upon us here, and TVP, again, as we mentioned previously for the herO series, has been very intense, has been very aggressive. We've been seeing a lot of aggression from Protoss players in this matchup, but that's mainly players like ByuN, like herO. Classic, he's been mixing it in as well, but Classic, he's a little bit more tame in his play, a little bit more macro-oriented. So I'm curious to see how Classic will adjust his approach compared to someone like herO or someone like ByuN or someone like MaxPax. I want to say that Classic is a little more mid-game oriented typically, and that may benefit Clem. That may benefit him. As for now, Clem, he does move out across the map, but coming in for the eBay block. Let's go. He does come in for the block. And will delay. From here, he will delay the expansion. Likewise, we are from here. Ideally, Clem wants to force Classic to expand to the third location. Depending on where Classic expands, Clem may be able to go for a 2-base all-in. Again, Clem, he is very willing to 2-base all-in in this matchup. 2-base all-ins, cheese, aggression, proxies. That's kind of what we expect out of Clem. And yep, there we go. We do force the unnatural natural. Okay. So again, a very awkward position here for Classic, and we'll see how Clem will react. So far, we're settling in. Going for our CC, single gas opener. I mean, sorry, we can go for a factory after this because of the eBay block. So poking in, confirming. And there it is, CC on location. So economic follow-up so far out of Clem. Reapers, they move out. And we'll see how our players open up. Now, it is not uncommon to see Protoss players go Stargate here to try to defend. Because the distance between the main base and the third location is so long, opening up Oracle can be a way to be defensive and to maintain your economy as well. Otherwise, we could see Blink, of course, and try to rely on static defense. We already have our first battery on the way to defend the third base. We'll see. We'll see how Classic reacts. For now, the Reaper does poke in. That pokes into the mineral line, and we'll look to get a probe. And just get one. Yeah, one probe goes down. Very nice pick off here by Clem. Gets one, going for the other. And won't quite get it. Just one probe kill so far. Ooh, catching one probe and does not get out of the main. Yeah, Clem, he's going to be chased down. Reaper does fall, and it is going to be the Stargate, yeah. So as we mentioned leading up to this, not uncommon to see Stargates in this kind of position, purely to be able to maneuver between your bases because they're so far apart. Clem knows this as well. Like, if we can read Stargate play as a potential, then Clem is fully aware as well. Of course, it doesn't have to be Stargate, but I'm sure this is still in the back of his mind as a potential tech choice. Oh, Stargate and Twilight Council. Okay. Oh, nice catch. Yeah, Clem getting a lot of hull damage on one of the Stalkers. Likewise, it should be Oracle first, so we'll keep an eye on Classic. No, never mind, going Phoenix. Okay. Does go for the Phoenixes. With this, we'll look to try to gain map control and contain Clem. High chance that this is going to be charge, not blink. We'll see. Clem tries to break out. He does take a volley to the face, but he will catch 1, 2 stalkers. Oh my god, some heavy losses here. Can he get 3? Yeah, Clem is going to chase down that final stalker. Does have the high ground, and the lock-on, it looks like it is going to reset. Yeah, lock-on is available. Lock-on is broken. Oh, barely broken, but cannot get away. Third stalker goes down. Heavy losses for Classic. At the same time, Clem is not done. Dropping into the main base. There is no blink. Bear that in mind. We do have some Phoenixes, though, and they're going to be ready at the third. Yeah, they're ready at the third location. Cyclone does barely pull back, does pull away, drop into the main base at the same time. Nothing in position, no battery, but there's one Phoenix. Just the one. Yeah, one Phoenix in position. Phoenix, barely gets away. And we're starting into the mineral line. Does force a recall. Getting 1, 2, 3, 4 probe kills. And Clem pulls out. And Classic having a very hard time defending here. Getting torn apart. Behind this, Clem going for his own 2-1-1, soon to be 3-1-1 setup, building up his tanks, and eventually towards Stim, but so far has had a very successful start to the game. Doesn't have to kill Classic, he's happy to just back off, build up, take his lead, and run with it. Meanwhile, Classic has to recover. Recover, gotta bounce back. Go. So Classic is being active. He's being active. He's trying to be. He knocks down the towers. Okay, I like this. This actually delays any kind of push. Okay, interesting. To knock down your opponent's towers, not something I've seen before. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Classic is afraid of a 2-base all-in, because Classic has had such a shaky early game. Trying to slow down an all-in does make sense. Behind this, getting ready for a backstab as well with that proxy pylon. Raven bottom right. Hiding from the Phoenixes. Does poke in. Classic, he pokes in, he pulls away. Likewise, more Zolts warping in. Warping in more charge lots. Jesus. Classic, he might just go for a base trade. Like the plan here, yeah, he does spot the army, does spot the move outs. Clem sending everything across, and now here comes that backstab. Here comes the backstab as Zelda do hit the natural. Pushing in, Clem turns back around, and we're buying time. Yeah, right now, Classic is just buying time. Does force through the ramp, going for the CC. Ooh, taking a lot of hits, a lot of damage. And Clem, he's zoned out. He's locked out of his own main. He's locked out of his house. Oh no. No more force fields, but again, he just cannot move in. Pushing up into the main base. Oh, wouldn't mind Zadupo. They get lifted, and Clem, he's going to clean everything up. Yeah, Clem will clean everything up. Despite being locked out of his own natural, he barely lost any SCVs. What the hell? Only 6 SCV kills. Clem barely lost anything. And Clem, he still has momentum. He still has a massive army to work with, and he's coming. Yeah, Clem is coming. Another Zealot run by. More warp-ins. It was a cool move at a Classic, but it didn't really amount to much. He just did not have enough firepower. The Raven gets caught. Clem is coming. He's moving out. Then you see Classic racing by Cove, even with the attempted harass. With the aggressive warp in. Does have a lot of Zealots. Oh, Marshall goes off, catching out a Phoenix. Does catch 2 Phoenixes even. Two pieces go down, knocks down the tower, make sure there's no flank. There's no flank on Clem's army. Sets other mines as well. Very nice retargeting. Oh my gosh. Incredible shots here on the Zealots, and Clem. He snowballs out of control. He breaks through the main army, and with that, Clem, he cannot be stopped. Starts as well. Picks up all the Zealots. More reinforcements have arrived. Tank does re-siege. Yeah, Tank does siege up. Picks up all the Zealots, the Archons, the Phoenixes, the everything. Two Phoenixes, they barely get away. And with that, Clem, he'll look to claim a lead in this series. Look to claim a lead. Again, it was just the early game. Like, the early game was brutal for Classic. Being forced to expand it on natural. The Phoenixes being shut down. They didn't really get much done. The initial Stalkers, if you recall. The early Reaper harass. The follow-up move where Classic pushed into the natural. Again, just was not worth it. Oof. Again, just too much momentum in favor of Clem. Dropping into the main as well. Jumps into the main base. Again, nothing major, but still, damage being done. And again, Classic is barely holding on. Barely holding. Oh. Boys being pulled. Again, desperation move here by Classic. Desperation back. Tries to move in. Gonna get cleaned up, losing 14 probes. 14 probe kills. Again, heavy losses here for Classic. As he does try to lunge in. And GG. GG gets called. Clem, he will take a lead in the series, 1-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Clem will take a lead. Again, just a very shaky start there for Classic, as the initial opener did really fall in its face. Likewise, you saw that he was forced into a really uncomfortable early game. Tried to be active, tried to be aggressive, but he was punished for it, losing the Stalkers. And again, went for that big backstab moment where I thought it looked like he wanted to force a base trade, but in the end, and he even successfully just force fielded Clem out of his own bases, but didn't really get much for it. In the end, he got 6 SCV kills, caught some of the production, got into the main base and picked off some add-ons as well, but that's all he really got. In the end, lost an army. Lost the army. GG. And with that, we're going to be loading game 2, loading into at Attorney's Edge. We'll see if Classic can recover. We'll see if Clem can close it out. Let's go. So we are loading into game 2. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of at Attorney's Edge, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss down in the series. We'll see if we can bounce back. For Virtus Pro, it is Classic. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the French Terran player, the Red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. Here we go. We're getting into game number 2 here. Game number 2 of our best of 3. Whew, and this time, I can't imagine we'll be seeing the same eBay block. Last game we did see Clem pop off early on and disrupt Classic. This time we should be calming down and we should be seeing a much more comfortable start from Classic. Remember, the Stargate play as well was kind of forced out because of the awkward expansion, so we're expecting like a standard more Twilight Council opener into Blink, into more standard mid-game. It should just be a much more standard game so far. We're coming into this. It should be. Again, it's quite rare to be able to pull off an eBay block twice in a series, 2 games in a row. Classic's going to be a little more adamant about scouting and checking and reacting. Now Classic's on notice. He is on notice. So now Clem going out with his SCV scouts. This time Classic is already here, setting up his own natural. So no eBay lock shenanigans. Not this time. Again, not this time. As from here, the Reaper does pick in. Pokes in, pulls away, was the initial Stalker, and Clem, oh, hello, pulling a bit of ByuN. Earlier this broadcast, we did see ByuN go 3cc 3-racks against herO. Now we're seeing it here, 3cc 3-racks out of Clem as well. So hyper greed out of Clem. Almost the polar opposite of what we saw last game, where this time Clem is going to be building up into a very greedy economy, staying back home, building up his bio army, and having a big power spike in the mid game instead. And the pressure is going to be on Classic. The pressure is on the Protoss to try to punish and try to stop Clem from getting out of hand. The pressure is on. Now, so far, Twilight counts are opening into Blink. It's going to be on Classic to scout. So far, Classic has no idea what's going on. Once he sees, he has the option to either be hyper aggressive or to be greedy, to go for like double forge, or go for his forge, go for his upgrades, go for his expansion, and start to take up instead. While he tries to contain. It's again, the pressure's on Classic. Clem just doing his own thing, building up his bio, working towards stim, combat shields. And again, this build does allow for Clem to build up and have a very fast 3 SCV production setup and triple mules, and just faster 2 base economy, and of course faster 3 base economy as well. This does kick in the mid game once you get into your incredibly fast 3 base saturation. Then that translates into a very large army, into a larger force, a larger army supply. And Protoss players can have a very hard time keeping up. For now, a very safe play at a Classic, Robo. Yeah, he's going for the Robo, 2 gateways at the natural, 1 gate at the main, so 3 gate blink into a Robo, into a delayed third. Very safe play at a Classic. Now, what is beginning as a safe opener can be a little bit more active. Never mind. I was going to say, as we can go for an earlier Prism and start to be active on the map, but yeah, there's the expansion. It's going to be after the Robo and after the 3rd gateway, so a bit of a delayed Nexus here from Classic. And Clem is looking good. When it comes to the openers here, solid start here for Clem. Classic, he starts to take up, going for the Bay. This I do prefer for Classic. It's really fast tech. So faster Bay, faster Colossus production, charge is going to be on the way as well. I would be more concerned for Classic if he had started charge, going for a gateway explosion into forge, into +1. But here this means that he'll have a really early like Colossus setup, which will be ideal against the heavy bio army of Clem. So this is going to be very fortunate here for Classic. Fortunate. Observer moves out, it does see the bio army. Upon seeing all these Marines and Marauders, he now knows. He's now aware. Blinks into the main. And Clem is out of position, going for the add-ons, going for the SCVs. He one-shot. Yeah, 1, 2, getting up to 3 SCV kills. Very nice. 3 SCVs, recalls back home. And, ooh, we'll lose 1 Stalker. Clem is moving out. Yeah, Clem is moving out, getting his 3rd base. Back at home, there should be 1 Colossus to defend. It's going to be close, but that first Colossus is being chronoed. Is being chronoed out, and we're hoping that Classic doesn't get caught mid-transition here. There we go, Colossus is now waddling in. Classic rushing into a 4th base, very greedy here. I mean, I say very greedy. It's well timed compared to the 3rd base, but Clem has map control right now. Clem is pushing, and I don't see Classic holding on to this. He's scouting the top side. Rotates towards the left. Clem, he will spot the expansion. And Clem is doing... Oh! He can sim. He's holding on, does him in, wants the Colossus, and he doesn't. He does not get it. Whew, very clutch force field, saves the Colossus, but won't save the base. Yeah, should not save the expansion. Ooh, that's gonna be a cancel. Clem pulls away, and Classic holds. Classic, he does hold on. Again, if it wasn't for those force fields, that Colossus would have gone down. So very clutch force fields. Clem does pull back. Fourth base being retaken. Clem trading with the army. Classic is going to be careful. Uh-oh. He steps in. No, he overextends. Yeah, big overextension. Colossus goes down. Classic, not like this. Ay. Respect the bio army, papi. He chased too far. He chased too far. Got too greedy. Punished for it. He does have one more Colossus behind this, but again, an expensive loss there for Classic. Very expensive. Clem is coming. Dropping into the main. Dropping into the main base at the same time. Classic going for his own counterattack. Back at home, Clem does have reinforcements, does have a bunker. Thankfully, there is one Colossus to defend, and Clem will back off. Let's pull away. Zealots are being forced back. Let's force back the Zealots. Let's force him back. Clem setting up back at home. And the game is slowing down. We're slowing things down here. Classic. He does get his fourth base up and running, and he's starting to saturate. At the same time, Clem has a comparable, if not greater, economy here with his own third. Ghost production's now underway. Vikings already amassing as well. Clem, he's aware of the Colossus, of course. He's already hindered their numbers. And currently, Clem has momentum. Momentum is in favor of Clem. Classic moving out. Classic trying to move out. I'm setting up with the natural. Switching to disruptors. It's going to be ideal. Disruptor's going to be on the way. Classic now going for the gold. Classic is trying to take map control away from Clem. And we'll see if we can maintain this. Remember, Clem still has the bigger army, and Clem's breakout is going to be huge. Now, ideally, Classic wants to line this up with Clem moving out across the map. Ideally. So Classic has that prism, does have the reinforcing pylons. Yep, Clem moves out. As he moves out, prism is in. Prism is moving in. There is one turret in position. We have some defenses back at home. Job commits. Clem responds, and he wants that prism. Yeah, he wants that prism. The Vikings are on the way. And the Vikings, it looks like they will catch the war prism. Prism goes down. Now there's no backstab. Still one's out in the main. Clem moving out to Clem. He does miss the main army. Uh-oh. Clem does miss it. Racing back over, setting up the surround. There's one disruptor with the main army. And who catches who? Classic is getting trapped. No. He's getting trapped. Massive EMP. EMP goes off. Colossus is going to go down. Catching a 1, 2 Colossus. At the same time, Zelda do trade well here. Yeah, Zelda collapses on the army. Nova's going to be going off. Nice splits. Yeah, nice splits in the end. And Clem, he overwhelms the army, catching out the Colossus, the disruptors. Clem giving chase. Gets 1, gets 2. Yeah, catches out. Oh, just one disruptor. He wants the other. Sims in, does get it. Disruptor goes down. Ignores the goal base. At the same time, they'll run by here towards the third, but there are reinforcements back at him to defend. And Clem is holding. Clem is holding on. More harassment. Double prism. Double prism into the bases. Goal base gets found. The double prism does come in. But Clem's ready. And Clem is ready back at home. Turning back around, Clem, he dominated the fights. He's down to expansions. Classic down to 4 bases. Classic does save the mineral line at least. And does dive into the main. He dives into the main base. Massive warping into the main. But there are reinforcements, SimCity working against Classic, and the main army is going to be clashing, and a better fight here for Clem. Did lose his Vikings though. Regardless, still Disruptor. Yeah, it's going to be mainly Disruptor. Nova's going off. 17 SCV kills. These Zealots, they were popping off here in the main. It's a lot of damage. 17 SCVs. Meanwhile, Clem, he wants those prisms. No, they're trapped. Yeah, war prisms are going to go down. Catching out both. Catching out one. There we go. That's one. The other gets away. Classic doing everything he can to keep Clem busy at home. Zealot Warping on the top side. Main army towards the south. You can see Classic double expanding. Clem is pushing through the center. And Classic is going for a tri-pronged attack here. Okay, so a massive Zealot Warping on the top side. A Prism into the main. Ooh, Prism goes down. No! The Prism gets caught. Clem, he was ready. He was ready in the main. He's ready here at the third as well. Clem is not ready at the fourth base, though. Classic commits. Going for the planetary. Clem tries to respond. Reacting to the Zealots. Gets across the map. Catching out reinforcing disruptors. And we're trading bases. Yeah, we're trading bases. Clem, he will lose the gold. So he will lose the planetary. At the same time, though, Clem, he does break the third. Third base is falling. Clem is playing to defend back at home. Catching up more bases, more expansions. And Classic turns around. Classic, he does turn back around. We'll catch out some of the Marauders though. Not bad. He does catch some of the Marauders. That was 27 per... Jeez, that's crazy. 27 workers going down. Clem, he's ready for a fight. There is 0 splash damage here. Disruptors are now coming in from behind. We're going to have 4 Disruptors. Shells and Novas. First Nova goes off. Raising the army. Oh! Second Nova. No major connection. Third Nova as well. Yeah, the final Nova doesn't quite connect here. And Clem, he stims. And he wins. He stims. He wins. He breaks through the main army. Catching out all the Stalkers as well. Disruptors, he rally to their deaths. And Clem will overwhelm. Catching up with Disruptors. Classic again cannot keep up. Does pull the boys. Desperation out of Classic. The final stand. GG gets called. And Clem, he will claim the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Again, Clem being a hyper aggressive in game 1 and being hyper greedy in game 2, and both games he got away with it. He was able to get away with it. In the end, Clem, he snowballed out of control. Here in game 2, we saw that Clem, he was not punished building up into a greater economy, and instead he actually caught out the army of Classic, referring to the 4th base and the Colossus. Remember, it all began with Classic trying to rush into the 4th base. The 4th base was cancelled. Classic chased the army, and then Classic lost the first Colossus. It was a very rough start. Very, very rough start. Not just that, but also I have to give credit, of course, to Clem. Every time there was attempted harass, there was a lot of harass, by the way, a lot of war prisms, a lot of Zealot round-by, Zealot counterattacks, a lot of army positioning as well. Classic, he was attacking at three places at once, more often than not, but Clem was able to keep up. At some points, there were some losses, of course, like losing 17 SCVs in the main, but for the most part, he was able to maintain himself, shut down the aggression, and take better fights. GG. GG, well played. So Clem was all over Classic, and with that, we're now getting into the grand finals. It's going to be a TVZ between Clem and SHIN. Let's go. Here we go. We have our TVZ finals here. It's going to be a best of 5. Best of 5 between Clem and SHIN, between that Terran and Zerg. We go. Okay, so best of 5 finals here. Again, it's going to be a bit of a rematch. I mean, these two, they've been playing very often over the past couple of weeks. TVZ has been very in flux as of late, and Clem, he has found a way to deal with it, and SHIN, he's not a very orthodox player either. Like, to my dismay at times, like SHIN, he sometimes doesn't have to, like, you don't have to be crazy, you don't have to, you know, play 2-base Hydra. We can just drone and build up into the mid game, but SHIN, he likes to do his own thing. He likes to do his own thing. Let's go as we are getting into our fresh series, game 1, Rainfall. Let's go. Let's go. It's spawning in the bottom hand corner of Rainfall. We have the blue Zerg player. We have the South Green Zerg representing onside. It is SHIN. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the French Terran player, the Red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. Let us go. As we are settling into our fresh series, into our best of 5. We're settling into our best of 5 here, and we'll see. We'll see if Clem, how he'll approach this. Now, Clem, he's been experimenting a lot when it comes to TVZ. We've been seeing some mech out of Clem. We've been seeing some 2-base all-ins, 1-base all-ins, proxies. But something that's been constant throughout the throughout the Terran scene in TVZ is hyper-aggressive mid-game play. We saw it out of ryung, where ryung, he went for a late third TC, he went for a 2-1-1 opener into heavy bio drop play, and he tried to pull SHIN apart, and he had some good moments, to be honest. Like, I was very surprised by ryung's performance against SHIN. The mind shots especially, the mind play was brutal, and SHIN was taking a lot of mines to the face. We're expecting something similar here out of Clem, where you just start the aggression, you do not stop. That is how Clem has been finding quite some success in recent times as well. He 3-0'd Solar recently doing that. Solar likewise was tunnel visioning a little bit too much. You know, Solar are known to like ape it up at times, like that. True. And Clem was able to abuse that. We'll see how he compares to SHIN. So far, it is going to be a pool first as a SHIN early spawning pool. The goal here will be to potentially delay the CC of Clem. Go. Here we go. Yes, here we go. We are going to be building up. Thankfully, we do see an SV scout out of Clem. If you recall, the early pool first builds can be devastating if there is no SV scout and if we do skip that worker. But here at Clem, he scouts, he confirms, he spots the early pool, and there are no early lings actually out of SHIN. Does go for the earlier gas geyser, bear that in mind, but SHIN, he does go for the queen, and SHIN has no presence on the map. With that, SHIN will be having an inefficient start, and Clem can settle in. So far, I would say a better start for Clem. Reaper does break forward. Does break in, does pull away. Likewise, behind this, we do have a Clem saturating. Back at home, he's going to be building up. We do have our third CC on the way, so third CC before Starport. Interesting choice here by Clem. So if you remember, Clem, he recently had an interview. He recently had a bit of a round table discussion with a laser, with DNS as well, and I would agree with Clem's sentiments during that, is that going 3 CC before Starport feels much weaker on the current iteration of the game. So interesting that we're seeing it here. Never mind. 3 CC 2-1-1. This I do like. Okay. So 3 CC 2-1-1. We're going for an earlier stim timing here from the side of Clem, and we'll see what he can get done with the bio setup later in the mid game. Meanwhile, SHIN, very fast lair. Very fast lair to SHIN. That's what, a 350-ish lair timing. So early lair here screams 2-base Muta. Now, I gotta add a caveat here. SHIN does like mixing in 2-base Hydra. I'm not too fond of it right now, but he does like mixing it in, so I have to bring that up, but it should be Muta play. Should be Aspire, should be Muta, but again, he has been mixing in Hydras. So we'll keep an eye on SHIN. Third base not being taken. We're joining with saturating. Stim is going to be on the way. Add-on swap here into Reactor, in towards the Reactor at Medivacs. They're coming. Yeah, there it is. There it is. There's a reason why we brought it up. SHIN alongside some of the other Korean Zergs. They were doing this a lot earlier in the year. SHIN, he recently started going back into it. Personally, I'm not too fond of it, but it is going to be a heavy Hydra play in the mid game. It's going to be Ling Hydra and delayed Banelings. Delayed Banelings, heavy Hydra count instead. We'll see. This can do well. This can shut down drop play, especially. It can shut down early drops. It can shut down early aggression. We'll see if SHIN can catch the first 2 medevacs of Clem. That's going to be the goal. Otherwise, because we're skipping and delaying Baneling speed and Baneling nest for this, the ByuN army might even just overwhelm. So it comes down to the first engage, who gains momentum first. Oh boy. Going Ling Hydra like this, I like it a little bit better against 1-1-1s instead of 2-1-1s. But, just because you're delaying your Banelings for so long. We'll see. Link step back in. Now they know. Yeah, SHIN scouts. He gets a full scout. He confirms both medevacs. Does get eyes on the drops. SHIN is now aware. I'm jumping across. Hydras, they force the pickup. Now Clem is aware it was 2-base Hydra. Back at home, I believe 2-base Hydra should be forcing out tank production. Like, tanks are ideal against Hydra play, but we saw that Clem, he was already trying to work towards Widow Mines. You could argue that maybe that's why, maybe there's a place for 2-base Hydra because of how common it is to go into blind mine follow-ups. No, yeah, true. Like, currently in the meta, we have been seeing a lot of Zerg players struggle against mine-heavy play, but we drop into the main. SHIN's out of position. SHIN's out of position, catching out 2 queens. Picking up a couple of drones as well. Nice pickups here by Clem, and SHIN is going for an all-in. He's going for an all-in. So SHIN, he's undersaturating his 3rd base. There's no 4th expansion either. SHIN is going to be rallying everything across the map. It's going to be all or nothing. A 2.5 base all-in out of SHIN. Just mass Ling Hydra. Let's go. It is go time. And again, Widow Mines struggle against this. So it feels like SHIN is trying to metagame. He's trying to metagame. As he starts stepping forward. Going for the CC. Can he get a kill? Oh, he can! One more volley. Massive pick up. The CC goes down. And with that, SHIN is going to snowball out of control. He catches out the entire main army. 12 SCV kills. More Marines going to be falling. And the mass Hydra's doing it. The Hydras, they start to step in. One mine shot connects. Does not matter. Yeah, the Hydras, they can tank a mine shot. It's fine. They can tank the shots. Deeper is going to be going down. And again, the metagaming. And SHIN moves in, pushing into the mineral line as well. And Clem, you cannot keep up. You cannot keep up. Not like this. Once again, just going for the CC. Jesus. There we go. Now focusing on the army. Catching up more Marines. The burst damage means that the medics, they just cannot heal the DPS. They cannot heal. Ooh. Even forcing friendly fire. And SHIN's running out of steam here towards the end. Remember, SHIN's up 20 workers. There's the skin confirming the saturation. GG, well played. And SHIN takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. With that, SHIN, he does claim a lead in the series, wanting it back here. So when I say metagaming, the meta right now is what Clem was doing. We saw 3 CC, 2-on-1, going for a heavy bioaggression, heavy drop play into Widow Mine support. And you just keep going. You just keep going with drop play with mine support, and you eventually pull your opponent apart. That is how Clem 3-0'd Solar earlier this week. By keeping that up. Going 2-base Hydra like this, the downside of course is you're lacking Banelings, but as we were kind of alluding to, Widow Mines struggle against heavy Hydra play. They're amazing against Ling Bane, right? Because as you've seen plenty of times already here, mine shots, they can punish as the army clumps up. Here, Hydras, they're more spread out. It's a very different kind of dynamic when it comes to the DPS they bring to the table here. So it was almost like a blind counter that SHIN went for. A blind counter punishing like this heavy Marine Widow Mine setup instead. And with that, he just snowballed out of control. Went for the 2-base all-in, or 2.5 base all-in. GG. GG, well played. So again, a very cheeky build here by SHIN. I wasn't too sold on it, but considering what Clem was doing, did work out very nicely. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're now getting to game number 2. Going to be loading into At Attorney's Edge. Let's go. Let us go. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the French Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Green Zerg player. We have the red Zerg representing onside. It is SHIN. Let's go. Let us go. We all know that Clem and GG well played in a sarcastic way. Not at all. I wouldn't be surprised if that was very sincere. Just because, like again, I was trying to emphasize it, but SHIN's build that game was very unique, and it was basically like blind or hard countering, like what Clem was doing. And it's very abnormal. Like I say, very abnormal. Like we saw it a lot earlier in the year from like SHIN, Solar, and Rogue, but like nowadays it's much rarer. But yeah, it was a very specific kind of build, and yeah, it shut Clem down. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if he was sincerely impressed. It's like, oh damn, okay, it's crazy. GG, well played. As from here, we're going to be opening up. This time, hatch first. Hatch first here by SHIN. Remember, last game was pool first. So, hatch first out of SHIN. It's going to be opening up. But likewise, we do have Clem across the map going for his own standard opener as well. And we'll see if Clem goes for another 3cc 2-1-1, or if he does go for something different. Does he go for a regular 2-1-1? Does he go 1-1-1? Does he go for a delayed expansion instead? It's going to be on Clem to mix up his build. I see in the YouTube chat, why is SHIN taking a third when it's more efficient to do a 2-base all-in at this stage of the game? So that is not true. So SHIN, if you're referring to the 2-base all-in and why it hits with 3 bases, one, the Zerg production is tied to their lava, so you do need a third base for lava production to actually amass up an army, of course. Likewise, because Hydras are as expensive as they are, a 2-base Hydra all-in would actually kind of like be quite flimsy. Like you don't really have the economy to sustain yourself too much, bearing in mind that we had lingering reinforcements as well. So the reason why we waited until 2.5 base saturation was to be able to fund the strength of that all-in, of course, to hit with as many Hydras, with as much things as we had, and of course because of the production side of things as well. Like straight up 2-base all-ins out of Zerg players with specifically 2 hatcheries is quite rare. You only ever see that in ZVZ, I would say. Yeah, because typically, like even in ZVP, if you're going for like a German taxi 2-base all-in, you still get your third base just for lava at least, right? Like you still get the third just for lava. Meanwhile, we do see, oh, Clem going for a 3-rax. Okay, so this is very different here. Last game, we saw a fast third base. This time, hyper-aggression. Hyper-aggression out of Clem going for 3-rax. This hits very hard. We're going to have excess Marines. And what's scary about this is that you can fake a 2-1-1. You can fake a 2-1-1. Like, this is a very specific build as well. Like, we're getting very nitty-gritty here right now. This is also a very specific, very niche build. If SHIN misreads this as a 2-1-1, then SHIN may overdrone, and then the sheer number of Marines will catch him off guard, and then Clem can just win. He can just win the game when he gets across the map. So this is much more dedicated. There's going to be more Marines. This can be hard to scout if you don't get into the bases. So there's an Overlord here just outside. Once again, though, that's a 350, 345 lair timing. So once again, a 2-base lair out of SHIN. Does Clem just win? So I'm thinking a little bit further ahead here. So this is going to be 2-base lair. This is either 2-base Muta or 2-base Hydra. Now, if you recall, I was a little bit iffy on the 2-base Hydra play last game because it was like in a longer game state, not having Banelings can be difficult, but then it turned into an all-in. It was like, oh, it makes sense, right? It makes sense. We're going for an all-in. We're not going to have to be worried about Banelings and mid-game play. Here, by rushing to like 2-base tech, it does mean that early on, SHIN is going to have a very weak army while he builds himself up, whereas Clem is going to have an earlier power spike. This should hit earlier. This should hit first before whatever tech SHIN is going for. Lair is now done. Is it Hydra's or Spire? 2 base Muta. 2 base Muta. I think this is a hard counter, right? Like, I'm pretty sure Clem is going to hit, and Shin is going to be banking up resources for Mutas, and they're not going to help. And you can see Shin he's scouting. He's trying to scout. He sees some Marines, and now he knows. Yeah, now he sees. Now he's aware. But again, it's Link Queen. It's going to be a Link Queen defense. Now he throws down a reactive Baneling Nest, but this is late. It's a late reaction here by Shin. Clem is coming. And I don't see the Banelings coming into play, especially because even if this Baneling Nest finishes, it's going to be slow Banes. Against Stim Marines, they should be focused down as well, especially this early on. So it's almost like Clem is trying to hard counter 2 base Lair. And I mean, it lined up, like... We gotta keep going though. We gotta keep going. Time is of the essence. Stim is none. Ooh, Stim does finish up. But it did finish a little bit late. Yeah, it did finish a little bit late here. And look at that. Even without the Baneling Nest, yo, with the extra larva, with the extra lings, Shin, he's like, actually, I didn't even need this. Wow, there you go. So I was curious to see how the dynamic would change here. It's also unfortunate Clem did engage pre-stim. He engaged like 3-4 seconds before stim was done, so that did hurt. And now this is getting worse and worse for Clem. The longer this goes on, the worse it is. Remember, there's no third CC. Like it's a third CC now being thrown down. It's late. Late third base. Mutas are coming. Shin, he's getting away with it. He's getting away with it. Clem, he has to find more damage. He needs more. It's not enough, Bappy. How much did he lose? Clem, he bled out 9 Marines. Yeah, he bled out 9 Marines as he was pushing in here. Mutas, they get across the map, but back at home, there's nothing to defend. Oof. Like, I'm thinking maybe on a smaller map, like Rainfall or Rorschach, maybe that, like, we could see this working, or close spawns on Old Sun Temple. But this is disheartening. This is very, very disheartening here for Clem. Never mind. Oh my god. Oh, yeah, look at him go. Clem, he just caught all the Mutas. 6 Mutas go down. Clem, he was dancing, Pappy. Let's go. You know he's smiling. you know he's got a big grin on his face, Pappy. Ay. Okay, we're back in this. We're back in this, Pappy. Let's go. As Clem is moving out, pushing through the center. Behind this, we're down to 4 Mutalisks, soon to be 6. Baneling speed is done, so Baneling speed will factor in. Clem pushing out, Shin trying to come in from behind. Trying to collapse on the army. Now diving in, the mine shot. Ooh, mine shot goes up. Early on Zerglings. Baneling's gonna be rolling in. Good target firing. Oh, 1 connects. Yeah, 1 Baneling connects. It looks like that is barely enough here. Whew. Shin barely does hold on. Again, the target firing was not good enough. Behind the staff reinforcements. It's still quite tense. Yeah, we're still getting tense here. Meanwhile, the Mutas, they distract the army on the south side. At the same time, Shin does hit the mineral line. Oh my god. Massive mine shot. Mine shot goes off. And Clem holds. Yeah, Clem is holding on. We have a game. We have a game. Clem, he gets his 3rd base up and running. Meanwhile, Shin, where's the 4th? Where's the 4th? Where's the 4th base? Shin, he has no 4th. No 4th expansion, so we have a low eco. Low eco, messy game here for both players. I would give you the edge to Clem. Clem's economy here is looking stronger than that of Shin. Shin is double expanding. He has to catch up. He needs a 4th base soon. Remember, Mutas are supposed to harass, they're supposed to gain map control, but Shin lost all the Mutas earlier. So he's unable to be active. Clem stims in. Does kill. Ooh, that's a kill, not a cancel. Ay. Yeah, massive pickoff. Takes down the expansion. At the same time, Shin does try to counterattack. Clem, he reacts in time. Yeah, he reacts in time. Decent mine shot as well across the map. Mine shots are popping up. Does catch a medevac. Again, still trying to double expand. Oh! Yo, can we catch that Mutas again? Can we catch him out for a second time? Meanwhile, there's barely any creep here. Barely any creep spread. This is ideal for Clem. At the same time, Bailey run by. Clem reacts. Levels away. Clem pulls away. Mutas are trying to come in from behind. Once again, Clem is in position. Clem trying to surround. Oh, not quite able to. Yeah, not quite able to. Clem still committing. Stimming across. Oh. It's catching out all these Bailings off a creep. Oh my god. Got some rough losses there by SHIN. SHIN coming back, setting up for the surround. Nice free split here from Clem. Oh, dragging mines. Yeah, trying to bait out some mine shots. Lings are coming from behind, and there's barely not enough Marines. Yeah, not enough Marines, not enough Bio. It is close here, but I think the Mutas can maybe break through. Oh my god. The Marines, they do not go down. They're healing. But there we go. Barely they're overwhelmed, and SHIN is barely holding on. Yeah, SHIN bleeding out a lot of Ling Bane, bleeding out his Mutas as well. Barely held, and Clem is still rallying. You can see he's still rallying. And again, the lack of creep here, the lack of setup is still brutal. Every time SHIN has such a hard time engaging. As Clem sneaks out, dives into the middle line. Ooh. Catching at the medevac. And Clem still has a highway directly to the 4th base. It's crazy. It's insane. He's got that highway. Thor is here, pushing further in. There's a lot of Banelings waiting for him though. Shots some mine shots. Ooh. Mine shot goes off. On mainly Zerglings. Lack was on the Mutas as well. Oh, massive connections. Mutas, they evaporate, and with that, Clem, he's done it. He's done it. GG gets called, and Clem, he will tie up the series 1-1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Again, a very intense back and forth here. Very, very intense. As, again, we did have that back and forth. Initially, I would say that, so running all the way back, Clem went for the hidden 3 racks. He went for a cheeky build, hidden 3 racks. Meanwhile, we saw that SHIN went for a 2-base Muta. I thought that maybe the 3X would be able to punish Hidden Time and break SHIN as he tried to get away with 2-base Muta. SHIN, he in a panic threw down the Bailey nest, but actually SHIN defended. He was able to defend with purely Ling Queen. It was a very impressive defense. Unfortunately, Clem, he engaged a couple of seconds before Stim was ready, so the fight half the fight occurred without Stim, so that did hurt Clem. I'm theorizing that maybe on a smaller map this would have been much more effective for Clem, but here it barely didn't quite cut it, and SHIN had a stronger start. And then he lost all the Mutas. Then he lost all the Mutas. You saw Clem react as well with his own Marines. He was very happy. He was like, because honestly, it was looking bleak. It was looking very, very bleak there for Clem. And then bam, caught all the Mutas, and suddenly Clem was in the game. We had that back and forth. SHIN, he was on a very low economy, low base count. Took a long time to get a 4th base up and running. Because he went for the quote-unquote ninja 4th base, he had no creep. Because he had no creep, he could not engage. The army just kept rallying across, and there was just a clear path, a clear highway directly into the bases of SHIN with 0 creep spread. And Clem popped off. GG. GG, well played. With that, we have a back and forth. We have a series, and so far we've had some very specific builds every game. What do you have for us here in game number 3? Ooh, a rare sight. We're going to be loading into Rorschach. Rorschach is a much smaller map. Small map of the map pool, short rush distance by ground. Aggression is favored here. And how aggressive are we going to be? As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Rorschach, we have the French Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Zerg player, the South Korean Zerg representing onside. It is SHIN. Let's go. Let us go. So far, SHIN has gone 2-base Hydra in game 1. He went 2-base Muta in game number 2. Game 3, I mean, especially on Rorschach, no shot would go 2-base. Like, the temptation to go 2-base muta is there because of the short rush distance. We have short rush distance specifically by air. Very, very short by air. So I'm sure there's temptation, but at the same time, punishing muta play can also be easier on this map because counterattacks hit so much faster on Rorschach. So I'm leaning towards roaches. I'm leaning towards 2-base roach out of SHIN. 2-base roach is a very safe way to play, and I feel like that's how you want to play on maps like Rorschach and on Rainfall as well. So for now, I'm going to be leaning towards roaches for SHIN, but we'll keep an eye on him. At the same time, Clem, to be active, to be aggressive, especially because of the short rush distance by air, 2-on-1. A 2-on-1 would make sense. Remember last game, game 1, Clem went 3cc 2-on-1. Game 2, he went for a 3x. Game 3, I'm feeling just a straight up vanilla 2-on-1. But we'll keep an eye on Clem. Technically, we could just we could see a 1-1-1 like Hellion Cloak Banshee. True, like Banshees, they also get across the map faster as well, so that could be a nice way to get some damage and get scouting information. Clem has options. Clem has options. So now SHIN is building up. This time we do have a much more... Pool first, okay. Sorry, I was going to say hatch gas pool. This time it's going to be pool first. Pool first out of SHIN. If you remember, SHIN went pool first in game 1. He went hatch first in game 2. Game 3, pool first again. So pool first out of SHIN. With that, his links will move out. We'll see if SHIN invests into link speed. He's going to have early gas income. We'll see if he gets into link speed or not. SCV Scout does confirm the early pool. Clem is aware. And Clem, his Reaper is still going across the map. Okay. SHIN going for the backstab. First queen is out. Clem pokes in. And does try to commit. Link speed is on the way. Yeah, SHIN, he's investing into link speed. He will pull out of gas. 2 links, they sneak out. And SHIN, can you delay the CC? Oh. He can. Yeah, he will delay the CC, so a nice pickup here from SHIN. Does get the Marine. Yeah, let's catch a Marine as well. Poking further in, and SHIN gets a full scout on the follow-up factory. So now he knows it's not a 2-on-1. So a nice scout here from SHIN, confirming the lack of early sim timing, and even confirming the straight-up 1-1-1. So it is going to be Hellion Banshee. So Hellion Banshee out of Clem for the first time this series, and SHIN, he sees everything with that one lone Zergling. So again, nice scouts, nice vision, even delaying the starport. So far, it's a better start for SHIN. So far. At the same time, back at home, he's droning, saturating. Now that he's aware of what's going on, pulls back into gas. Okay. Pulls back in early. So an early reaction here from SHIN. Scouting 1-1-1 Banshee play, yep, he's going lair first. He's going to be going lair first here. Now, this lair is not as fast as the last 2 games. Last 2 games, we saw 3:45 and 3:55 lair timings. This was a 4-minute lair timing, just because we had pulled out of gas earlier. So this is a later lair, and we have yet to determine the tech. Yet to determine. Against a 1-1-1, I'm not opposed to mutas, to be honest. Like, because we have some scouting information, 2-base muta would make more sense here. Just because Hellion Banshee has less opportunities to punish mutas than early stim. So we'll see how it all does come together. The lair is almost done. Gases are being taken. Show us the spire. And yep, there it is, 2-base muta. But unlike the previous games, this is a reaction to what he had scouted. Previously, SHIN would do this like without vision, without scouting. He'd do this to kind of like force a reaction out to Clem or do it blindly even. But here, it's a response. Which I do like. Oh, Lings, they attempt to catch the Hellions, not quite able to. Banshee deflecting the main. Has Clem, did he see the lair? He did. Okay. So Clem, he knows this fast 2-base lair. So now Clem knows that there's potential for 2-base Muta. He hasn't confirmed it, but he knows it's in the back of his mind at least. Could be 2-base Hydra, 2-base Muta. It could be 2-base Roach. True. Like, that's also a possibility. Banshee's affected. Hellions. Oh no! One of them does get surrounded. Yeah, losing 1, 2, 3, 4 Hellion losses. Ay. Some hefty losses there for Clem. Does overextend. Deep on creep. Some rough losses for the Terran. And that means there's less to thread in the Mineral Lines, and it's easier to get into Mutas. That's another Hellion goes down. Down to 3. Down to 3 Hellions. Back across the map. Clem is getting his own 3rd TC. Much faster compared to last game. But of course, he's switching into bio play, into Widow Mines, Marine Mine in general. Again, I believe Clem has yet to really confirm what's going on. But turrets are being thrown down. Okay, so good read. Good read here. Mutas are on the way. Clem is getting ready. I think just because of the map itself and because of the early scouting, like, he can just assume what SHIN would do. Especially after seeing the fast lair. You just poke in. Widow Mine doesn't quite connect, and we try to trade. Ooh, 1 Muta goes down, cleans up all the Marines, and doesn't get punished. Oh, Clem does get caught. Yeah, losing 1, 2, losing all 3 Hellions. Hellions get caught out. And so far it's only been 1 Mutalisk. Okay, so again, SHIN is gaining map control. He has to be careful that there are mines hidden. There's a mine here in the Mineral Line. Does cool down that supply. Does full heal. Does get the full heal going. SHIN claiming a 4th expansion. And so far, due to all these mines, the Mutas are losing a lot of their strength. Now, this is why, like, I'm still on the fence about whether Lingbane Muta is good against Terran at the moment. Because of the new Widow Mine and because of the short duration, or the shorter cast time, the shorter time it takes for the Widow Mine shot to launch and to lock on, it feels like it is much more difficult to get away with Lingbane Muta, especially against mine-heavy play like this. If you remember, this is why the Hydra all-in earlier worked so well against a Marine Mine setup, and why Muta play can struggle. I say can struggle because technically, like, if the control is there, like, the mine shots should never connect. Speaking of, oh. So I don't want to say that Lingbane Muta is less viable. I would say that it's just a lot more difficult. It can be a lot more punished, more punishing. Speaking of, oof, mine shot goes off. Marines they punish. Yeah, losing 1, 2, 3 Mutas. Like, it's much more difficult to dance around these mines. Much more difficult. Like, I hesitantly say that, like, you can't do this because technically, if you watched Homestory Cup, Raynor successfully did play Lingbane Muta against Clem at Homestory Cup. It was impressive. It was very messy. It was very messy, but did pull it off. It's just, you got to lock in. Like, you got to be on point when it comes to your control. Meanwhile, here we go. Lings, they do get into the Mineral Line. Mine's just going off on Lings. Catching at the Bio Army. Oh. And so far, we do collapse on the Medivacs. Emus try to chase. Catching up Marines. Decent trade here for SHIN. But he cannot fight the main army. He has to back off. And SHIN pulls away. Now, as all this is happening, SHIN gets a 4th. 4th base up and running. 5th base, gold base now going to be on the way as well. SHIN, can he keep Clem contained while he builds up the economy? And as he builds up the economy, techs up in towards Hive and Ultras. That should be the end game. The end game here should be 2-2 into 3-3 into Hive into Ultra Tech. But now, ooh, gets caught. The Mutas get caught out. Clem is breaking free. And SHIN, he's got to be careful. These Mutas are so delicate. They're very, very delicate. They're very fragile. Shin is looking to commit. Bringing together his entire army. The mine shot, ooh, does not go off. Yeah, no mine connection. Second winter mine does go down as well. No mine shots. Yeah, 4 more mines on the high ground. Army does split. Baits out 2, 3, 4 mines. We got 1 decent connection towards the end, but we need more mines. We need more of them. They connect. Yeah, they connect well, but do we have got Marines left over? Mutase bust on through. And there is enough Bio. Yeah, there's enough Bio. Mutase, oh, get punished in the main. No, no! Jesus. They get punished in the main. They take a match up to the face. Clem, he defends his 4th. Yeah, the 4th base is up. Contamination here on the factory and denies drilling claws. Okay. Drilling claws is denied. Shin backs off. He pulls back. Pulls away. And again, even though Shin is bleeding out some mutas and bleeding out some Ling Bane, he delays drilling claws. He likewise delays any kind of Widowmine production. And Shin is about to max. Shin is about to max. Why is that so? Again, the bases have been left untouched. No harass. Just free mining here for Shin with the gold as well. So he has the gold base up and running. He has map control. Untouched economy for Shin. Shin is now maxing out. Yeah, he's maxing out. And Clem just has been stuck at home. He hasn't been able to move out. He has not been active. Even here, he's stuck chasing mutas instead of punishing the economy. Stuck chasing the mutalisks. Oh no! Oh, we'll take 2 massive mice to the face. Oh god. We'll have to wait for the update because I'm pretty sure mutas did go down there. Okay, to go down. Lings laps in, catching up some of the Marines. Clem is about to max. Here come the Banelings. Yeah, here come the Banes. Rolling forward, pushing into the planetary. Planetary's gonna go down. Massive pickup. And this is worth it. This is worth it here for Shin. Takes down the planetary. Trading with the army. Mutase move in, but there are reinforcements. And Clem, he does have a backup base though. Has a backup expansion. 6 mutas going down. Catching on 6 mutas. Clem, he's trying to counterattack. I believe there aren't any Banelings left. Only 2. We have 19 Banelings morphing in. Show us the mines. Oh, trying to force friendly fire. Okay. Yeah, panic burrow there from Clem. They were all clumped up. Winter mines are going down. Better fight for Shin. Takes a better fight. Rotates over. Once again, he wants that planetary. Banelings, they aggro onto Marauders. But SCVs, they get into the Lings, they get into the mineral line. Yeah, SCVs are going down. Heavy losses for Clem. And Shin, he might have just done it. The Banelings. Banelings ahead for the mineral line. SCVs, they pull away. Yeah, workers, they pull away here. Mutas, they have a hard time trading. But still a better fight here for Shin. As Clem cannot expand. Clem, he can't get a 4th. He can't get a 4th base. He's running out of steam, running out of money. Clem, he's broke. He's broke, bad. Oof. Yeah, losing 1, 2, losing 2 medevacs. Alright, where's Clem with a double scan? Yeah, you know what this means. This is Clem checking to see how far behind he is. And with that, he saw the Hive. He saw the Hive. He saw the upgrades. The Ultra Cavern was also scouted. That was a how screwed am I scan. That was As the backstabbings, they keep flooding in, and there's no economy. Every SV is going to be going down. Clem is all in. He's all in at this point. It's all or nothing. Stimming across the map. We'll break through an expansion. We have more Banelings to defend. Oof. And Banelings, they smash into the army. Brutal connections. And GG. GG, well played. Shin, he will take a 2-1 lead in the series. Whew. GG. GG, well played. A very intense back and forth here between Clem and Shin. Once again, we did see Clem, he was able to defend decently well against the mutas, but the mutas and the Lings and the Banelings, they did their job. What did they do? They contained Clem. Again, we tried to emphasize the fact that Clem, at no point was he ever really harassing any of the bases. Top right was left untouched the entire game. Gold base also left untouched the entire game because of the non-stop muta harass and Ling Bane as well. Clem, he was just stuck at home. He was just stuck at home. And even if he was trading well, the reality is Shin, he was on 86 workers and he had the gold base as well. So he could afford it. He could afford to fight even inefficiently and still outtrade Clem. GG. GG well played. So in the end, Clem, he was outscaled. He was outscaled as the game progressed. As SHIN built up a greater and greater economy, and now we're going to be loading into game number 4, loading into Fear and Faith. Let's go. Oh. Let us go. We're loading into Fear and Faith here. We're loading into a 4-player spawn map. And spawning in the top, cross spawns. In the top left-hand corner of Fear and Faith, we have the French Terran player, the blue Terran, representing Team Liquid. Down in the series, can he bounce back and force the ace match? It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent, we have the red Zerg player, the South Green Zerg, representing on side. It is SHIN. Let's go. Let us go. We're getting into our next game. We're getting into match points. Remember, SHIN, he is 1 game away. Hello. We're going for the proxy. We've had it up. We've had it up to here. We have not just 1, we have 2 SCVs, proxy 2 racks. We're going for the proxy 2 racks in the center of the map. Welcome to Fear and Faith. Fear and Faith has 4 spawn locations. You can spawn in top right, top left, bottom left, and bottom right. So 4 possible spawn locations. We do have diagonal cross spawns, long rush distance by ground. This favors Zerg in longer games, but Clem, he just throws caution to the wind. He's going for the proxy, going for the proxy 2 racks. Now, very quickly here, proxy 2 racks is not an all-in. I should emphasize that. There's proxy 3 racks. Proxy 3 racks that exists, that's much more committed. The 2 racks variation can do damage, of course. It can deny an expansion. It can trade well. Typically, you expand behind it. Typically, there is a follow-up. There's a transition point for the Terran. There are all-in variations where you like pull the boys or something crazy like that. But again, like you can macro out of this. Remember, there's no gas. No gas. It is a bunker rush. It's a bunker rush here from Clem. First things first, though, Clem has to figure out where is SHIN. Where is he? What's going on? Now, what this can also do is that this can punish a greedy build. If SHIN, for example, went gasless, if he went for a gasless opener and was cutting a bunch of corners, which is not uncommon in this matchup on Fear and Faith, then Clem can try to punish him even harder. For now, the first overlord goes top right, second overlord goes bottom left. SHIN sees nothing, he knows nothing. Clem is also looking. Comes in for the SCV scout. Ooh, gamble. Clem, he does not check bottom left. Doesn't check bottom left. He's going bottom right. I was pull first. Duh. Yeah, it was pull first. Does confirm. And we have an early queen. Yeah, early queen, and we're responding with a roach all in. Okay, so SHIN looks like he will give up on the low ground. He's going to give up on the low ground. This base is going to be shut down. I don't think SHIN can fight for it. In the end, he's going to take his gases, stay on one base, and go into roach production. Ooh, does let the hatchery finish. Okay, does let it finish. Clem, he wants the queen. Yeah, does let it step in. He wants the queen. The first thing does go down. Boys being pulled, and the queen will barely survive. Oh, I spoke too soon. Getting 1 shot away from going down. The queen is on how much? On 5 HP. As Clem goes further in, 0 mining in the main base. Clem, he's doing critical damage here. Roach production has begun. Again, he ignored the natural. Going further in. And this is getting ahead. This is becoming too much here. Getting 5 drone kills. Boys, they attempt to surround. They fail to do so. 8 drones falling. Queen goes down as well. Oh my god. Roaches, they pop out. So the roaches will defend. And we're in a really weird game state. So Clem didn't kill the base. He chose not to. Instead, he killed 8 drones, which is great. He killed 8 workers. He killed a queen as well. Back at home, Proxy, he's doubling down. Yeah, he's doubling down. He's going all in. Proxy Marauder as a follow-up instead of getting a factory and a CC back at home. Meanwhile, SHIN confirms. SHIN, he does scout. He does confirm that there is no follow-up. Ooh, losing a roach. And 1 roach does go down. SHIN, he is unaware of the proxy location. He's unaware of the location. SHIN, he's re-droning. Uh-oh. SHIN, he believes this is over. He scouts. He sees no follow-up. This is a misread out of SHIN. I mean, he does need to at least get up to 1 base saturation, but Marauders are coming, and this is all there is to defend. 2 Ravagers. That's it. 2 Ravagers. 0 Queens, 0 Zerglings, and SHIN is still making drones. He's still making drones. Okay, we have one more roach on the way. It's going to be 2 Ravagers and 1 roach, pappy. Marauders are coming in. Thankfully, no concussive shell. True. Thankfully, no concussive shell. Not yet. SHIN has to be very careful with these Ravagers. Lings, they pop out just in time. The first Marauder is going to go down. Gets 1 Marauder. Lings are trickling in just in time. Yeah, the Lings arrive just in time, and SHIN, shuts down the Marauders. Gets 1, he gets 2. And SHIN is droning. SHIN, he's droning up, but this time he's safe to do so. He's safe to drone up. He's fine. Oh, we'll lose a Ravager. Yeah, we'll lose 1, but it's fine. The Lings are punishing. The Lings, they punish these Marauders so hard. The MVP Zerglings. They're out in time. They punish the Marauders. They just tank so well. They tank so well for the Roaches. Now here comes that factory follow-up, but at this point, SHIN, he's got a natural. He's up a base. He's up a base, up an expansion. Even here, catching up more Marauders. Clem bleeding out too much. Losing too much back. And again, Clem, he chose to double down, right? He chose to double down. He chose to commit into Proxy Marauder as well. He committed. Yeah, we've got the slow Lings and the slow Roaches against the slow Marauders. It's SHIN, he wants that final Marauder. He wants it. Doesn't quite get it. And from here, SHIN needs to calm down a little bit. We're throwing away too much. Yeah, throwing away too much. He has to pull back. Behind this, Link speed is on the way. Getting Link speed. Likewise, he did drone up a little bit. Back at home, Clem. Still no CC on the high ground. He's going for the starport instead. No command center out of Clem. Going for a second wave of Marauders. Link speed is not ready. But SHIN, he will be able to collapse in. Tries to. Ideally, SHIN wants to lure the army onto creep. He wants to lure these Marauders onto creep. Hellions are on the way. Are we going to go for like a one-base Marauder Hellbat all in? Is that the plan? Do we even need Hellbats? Hellions might be good enough. Remember, like against these Marauders, Lings have been the MVPs, but how do you shut down Lings? Hellions. Hellions are scouted. Link speed is done. We're coming for this round. The Hellions aren't here. Wow, the Hellions are not here. They're not ready. Catching out 1, catching out 2, 3, 4 Marauders. Massive catch for SHIN before the Hellions come in. Yeah, they were not here in time. Catching out more Marauders. Down to 3. Massive catch here from SHIN. Behind this, we have Roaches now amassing. Things. Oh, they run into more reinforcing Hellions. It's still messy. It's still very messy. But I favor SHIN defensively. Assuming we have Link support. Yeah, Lings are coming from behind. Where Ravager maintains control of the high ground. Oh, does overextend, losing 2. Well, 1, 2 Roaches go down. Where are the Lings? Where are the Zerglings? Queens, they do maintain themselves. Lings, they trickle in as well. At the same time, we're catching reinforcements in the center of the map. Oh, 1 Ravager falls. Uh-oh. Queens, where are we going? Queens, they called out. Oh my god. Yeah, Queens, they called off a creep. 1 Queen goes down. Massive pickoff. Down to 1. Down to 1 Queen. Another does reinforce. Back up to 2. Back up to 2. And SHIN barely holding on. Moving in more Ravagers. 14 Lings are on the way. I feel like that should be enough. Yeah, that should be enough. Medevac goes down as well. The Hellions are low from earlier. Hellions are falling. Ooh, another Hellion gets focused down. And another. Down to 2 Hellions. Only 2 Hellions left. Here comes just massive surge of Zerglings. Collapsing the army. Hellions get surrounded. And that's going to be it. That's going to be it here. The all-in has failed. It was very close. GG gets called, and SHIN, he will claim the series 3-1, becoming this week's the KungFu Cup number 14 champion. GG. Whew, GG, well played. A very intense and very clutch kind of end to the series here. Clem going for the proxy T-Rex, but then he doubled down. He went proxy Marauder as well. He almost caught SHIN droning, but SHIN, the links came out just in time. The timing was crazy, but the links came out just in time to reinforce the roaches and ravagers. We did see that Clem doubled down with the Hellion reinforcements, and another big moment, really important moment actually for SHIN. If this hadn't happened, SHIN probably would have died, was when SHIN, when link speed finished, he surrounded the Marauders. Before the Hellions arrived, SHIN, he caught 4, or was it 5? It was like between 4 and 5 Marauders got surrounded and were killed just before the Hellions arrived. If that hadn't happened, if the Hellions had made it there to support the army, if SHIN wasn't as, if he wasn't as on top of, like, making use of that link speed timing, most likely, because of how close that defense was, the game just ends. Like Clem, he reinforces, he has 4 to 5 extra Marauders, then he just breaks through. He just breaks through, he overwhelms. So really crucial that SHIN was able to collapse on that army with those speedlings before the Hellions arrived as well, and GG. GG, well played with that. SHIN, he does claim the series. Again, he is going to be our KungFu Cup number 14 champion. Congratulations. Congratulations here to SHIN. Shout out to Clem for making it to the finals, of course, for having a back and forth series with SHIN, and likewise shout out to ByuN for popping off earlier for knocking out herO. Likewise for Classic also making it into the top 4 as well. GG. GG, well played. Hey, hey, hey. Crazy, might be crazy. Where are the 1v1 Crank Gathers matches? They're going to be casted tomorrow. Speaking of, so I did see someone asking about Crank Gathers in the chats. We can head on over here to our schedule. There we go. So as you can see here, we just wrapped up with our Thursday evening broadcast. As you can see here, KungFu Cup Thursday evening. And you can see that tomorrow, you can see that logo there, that's Crank Gathers. Crank Gathers Season 4 is going to be tomorrow in less than 24 hours and on Saturday as well. Now, usually we'd be casting it Friday morning, but I am unavailable. I'm unavailable Friday morning, so it's going to be a Friday evening broadcast. Again, in around 20-ish hours time, around 20 hours. Around 20 hours time, we're going to be live with, at this time, this place, this channel, with the Crank Gathers StarCraft Evolution and group stage. We're going to be live tomorrow evening and likewise on Saturday morning as well. So back-to-back broadcasts of Crank Gathers. Likewise, on Saturday and Sunday, we have MSO and STC, the Masters Swan Open and Sparkling Tuna Cup throughout the course of the weekend. So that's going to be our schedule for the rest of the week. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. Again, it's been a very intense week of StarCraft with a GSL CK, with Crank Gathers, KungFu Cup, Wardy Monday, Pickassar Cup, Tuna Cups as well. All of our regular scheduled broadcasting. When it comes to the upcoming weeks of StarCraft, expect more of the same. Crank Gathers, I believe, does wrap up next week. And when Crank Gathers wraps up, then we can start to get into like the SEL invitational tournaments, and also we can get into RSL, the Rival StarCraft League. The playoffs will also be beginning next week as well. I think it's next week or the week after. Double checking. Next week, yeah. And next week is when the RSL does begin. So we'll be there to co-stream the Rival StarCraft League. We'll be there. We'll be there for it. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. We're going to be wrapping up here for the time being. And again, we'll be back tomorrow in under 24 hours time with the Crank Gathers tournament. If that comment is in reference to why aren't we covering Crank Gathers live? Well, live coverage of Crank Gathers is exclusive to Chijik. Chijik is a Korean streaming platform. It's like Twitch, but Korean. So if we were to live cast it, we would have to only be live on Chijik, and the reality is that foreigners or international viewers don't really watch streams on that channel. So even if we were the only English stream covering that event, and we would be, and we have been, it doesn't really garner too much traction for us. It's not really too worth it. It's good for the Korean scene. A lot of Korean viewership does arrive there, but less so international audiences, which is our main audience. So that's why we do not live cast the Crank Gathers event. Don't live cast them, but we cast it via replays instead. Via replays. So again, that'll be next time. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. Referencing to lava compromise between droning for a third versus amassing an army, but extra lava makes sense, as you say. Yeah. Like extra lava, extra production, right? Like the production of a Zerg player is tied to their hatchery count. So the third base, even if it's just for lava, even if you're not getting up to full saturation, is still typically worth it. But regardless, with that, we're going to be wrapping up. And again, we'll see you guys tomorrow or whenever we see you. Again, we're live on a daily basis, typically 2 times a day. So plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft. If you want to watch some of these events, and if you cannot watch it live, and if you want to watch the VOD, if you missed out on GSLCK, for example, !socials, you can check us out over on YouTube. Our YouTube channel, we do upload on a daily basis over on YouTube. Our uploads on YouTube are around like 3 to 4 weeks behind. So if you want to watch live content or the most recent content on YouTube, then check the live tab. Check the live tab on YouTube, because we do stream on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. So it's all archived there under the live tab. It's just, it takes I say it takes a while for us to edit all the VODs and to cut them and to upload them individually. That is true, but more importantly, we do limit uploads to like 1 tournament a day. Otherwise, it becomes too much spam. Like, because we cast so much, like we still upload like a lot of VODs every single day, but we typically, as you can see here, cast twice a day, and it's a lot of VODs, a lot of matches, and we don't want to spam like the sub feed. So we limit ourselves to 1 a day. That's why it's behind, because as you can see, we cast more than once a day. So that's the reasoning for that. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks so much for the support. We appreciate it, and we'll see you guys next time. Till then, ciao, papa, ciao. See you next time. Hasta luego. See you next time.